Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Tuesday evening, breaking news. Karmelo Anthony out of Texas has been sentenced to 35 years, for the murder of Austin Metcalf. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to play a video by way of WFAA, that's got more details with regards to the sentencing. He was convicted earlier, in case you're not up to speed, of murder. And now he has been sentenced. The total time that the jury was out was less than 3 hours. Now, let me say something early in case you're new to this show here. This is the objective perspective. All are welcome to call in, chime in, send in your comments, The details have been, for the most part, we weren't really privy to everything, right? We could not see into the courtroom. Maybe it was for certain reasons. I don't want to, guess and assume. But I want to ask you something early. I want to ask you, do you think that Karmelo Anthony's legal team blew it? They only called 3 witnesses on Monday, which was yesterday. 2 of the 3 admitted they didn't see what they originally said they saw. Now, we also spoke about a few things here on the show a week or so ago with regards to sudden passion. It's a defense that he could have used, all right? And we're going to go over some of the things, some of the misinformation, because there has been a lot of misinformation. People have been on social media doing what they do. Trolling, intentionally putting forth misinformation. I spoke to a couple of people earlier, and I had to be sure that I was going to say the right thing this evening, because, again, this is the objective perspective. I wanted to make sure that I had an understanding and a valid source that Austin Metcalf pushed Karmelo Anthony. Now, did he punch him? Did he choke him? That I can't say. Was he towering over him? Well, according to one of the detectives who took the stand, he gave a more accurate breakdown of what was said. And I'll say this objectively with regards to anybody. When you are involved in a crime, it's best to your advantage to exercise your rights. What does that mean? Say nothing. Exercise your rights. There's nothing wrong with saying, I would like to exercise my rights. Did Karmelo Anthony panic after he stabbed Austin Metcalf? Whether you like Austin or not, whether you like Karmelo or not, I think we can agree that there is a time when you have to exercise your rights, because everything you say can and will be used against you. Okay. Hey, Sunday, good evening. How are you? Where do you want to start?
I'm so glad you're covering this. This is so important for everybody to see.
I think so.
There's consequences to reckless behavior. And I have a strong opinion about it. I do not believe justice was served.
Come on.
35 years is too little. He should have gotten a life with no chance of parole.
Oh, life?
Yeah.
With life. No parole? Are you serious?
No parole.
Come on.
If anytime you're angry, you pick up a knife, anytime you're shoved, you get a knife, why are you safe in society? It doesn't make sense. Okay. He shouldn't have had a weapon at 17. I don't think that's legal. And then his parents and his whole family condoning that behavior shows that they're dangerous too. They should lock up the mother as well.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, she should serve time with him.
Please continue.
I just think it's disgusting. This is what happens with FBAs. They think because of slavery, they can go around killing white people. It's insane. It's disgusting. If you hate white people so much, go back to Africa. That's how I feel.
Stay with me.
Yeah,
you and I stay with me. You and I spoke briefly earlier, and I said I welcome your call. Texas is an open carry state, for those who don't know. The knife that Karmelo Anthony had, just to be, objective here, was not illegal. The size of the knife, okay? I think that he should not have spoken. Not that I'm saying he should have gotten off. I'm not saying that, but he should not have spoken so quickly and admitted to the stabbing right after it happened. I think he had the wrong legal team. And we spoke last week about some things with regards to sudden passion. I'm sure there will be an appeal, but I just think that his legal team could have quite possibly blown this case. What say you?
No, I don't think it was the legal team. I think he had the wrong parents.
Okay.
I mean, his mother spoke. I'm just being honest.
His
mother spoke months ago and tried to defend him, and she was so protective of her son, which anybody can understand.
Right.
But yeah, her wig was crooked. It was slanted on her head. I knew right there that he lost the trial. I'm sorry. That tells me everything I need to know.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again? Her wig was crooked. What'd you say?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was like put on backwards.
Come on.
He was going to lose the trial off of that. That raised you? I don't think so. And then you're crying. Why? Your son murdered an innocent child. Kids fight all the time. They fight all the time. In fact, the more fights you get in sometimes, the stronger you become. You can, kind of toughen up, develop thick skin, learn who to avoid. It teaches you about the world. But to take a knife and to end somebody's life over a harmless fight is nonsense.
Yeah.
That's what boys do. They fight. You fight with each other. You fight with your own family. They fight. Why did you have to take it down to a knife fight? To a fist fight? Figuratively speaking.
There were witnesses called for the prosecution and witnesses called for the defense. And up until, yesterday, I have a video that I'm going to play shortly. I couldn't get a confirmation aside from people on the internet just being culturally connected. I wanted to know if Austin Metcalf slapped Karmelo Anthony, punched him, choked him. What did he do that deserved that type of retaliation, if you will? All I got was that he pushed him. Did you hear anything else?
No, I didn't. And, I want to be sensitive to racism because that's the thing that exists. I'm not ignoring it. I'm not sitting here trying to play a blind eye to it. I experience racism at the highest level on a daily basis from everybody. So I get racism from Black people, from white people. It just comes from all corners. But, at the end of the day, that doesn't give me permission to kill somebody. Now, I do believe that altercations could result in things like this, fatalities. I get it. But as a child, you have to have a different approach. You're supposed to seek an adult. You're not supposed to handle it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I have with this case. If he was an adult and they were on the street, that's a different story. I would have a totally different outlook. But the fact that you're 17 on school grounds, you should have sought an adult, a teacher, someone. Why did you decide to handle it yourself? That's what I'm having trouble understanding. Okay. And then for everybody to condone his behavior, I feel is just their own rage that they have towards white people. Imagine for a second, if we're going to be objective, if people didn't have such a divide, or if there wasn't so much hatred built into the DNA and fiber of Black people towards whites, would we really be so kind of biased in this matter? I don't think we would be. I think we would be more empathetic towards the victim here. There's a lack of empathy because they hate white people, and nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to say the fact that FBAs hate white people, and that's why they wanted him to get off.
For those who don't know what FBA is, can you just give a little context? Everybody doesn't know. So we have new viewers all the time.
Yeah, I didn't know what FBA was either until I started listening to your show, Foundational Black American. Right. Yeah, Foundational Black American, those that have been brought over, so to speak, and from centuries ago. Somebody like me is a tether. Totally get it. I'm not trying to claim full-blood FBA. I get it. But at the same time, it's like...
Well, mainly those who were already here. Now, FBA can be a mixture of different, groups and or cultures, but mainly it's for those who were already here, not necessarily those who came over on the slave ship. Okay, so hold on a second. I'm so glad you called to be objective. And all right, so Karmelo Anthony, for those just now joining us, breaking news within the last hour, sentenced to 35 years. He was convicted hours ago, but sentenced to 35 years. I'm going to play more of the video here. Do you think, this young man made a tragic mistake? And, because there were no people of color on that jury, that they may have been excessive in handing down this murder conviction. They had the option to give him manslaughter, but they gave him murder, and to come back so quick. I mean, I don't know all the laws in that particular county, but wow, 35 years. Why not 20? Why not 15? Sunday.
I think it should have been life. 35 years isn't fair. I think those white people were liberal okay. Democrats. That's what I think. The people in the jury were liberal Democrats that probably voted for Obama because they gave him too light of a sentence. It's awful that he only got 35 years. Yeah, white is not, there's different kinds of white, okay? You've got the whites that are, kind of like hippies, and they're the type that will think just because you're a minority, you're a victim, you're innocent, you need help. You need to be treated with kid gloves because you're a minority. Those are those kind of whites that end up getting taken advantage of, and then there are whites that put their foot down. And so at the end of the day, I believe that the whites in the jury were liberal Democrats that sided with him. That's why he only got 35 years. That's what I think.
Okay.
And it's awful because you shouldn't have just got 35 years. And my perspective is very, very clear. I believe that if that kid wasn't terminated early, he would have lived past the age of 35. So why should he only get 35 years? Wow. He should have the full life sentence expectancy that he was anticipated to have. His parents were expecting him to die an old man. So he should have old man years, 80 years minimum.
I got to jump in for a second. We have been combing through some of the details as best we could because, again, there's been so much misinformation on the internet ever since this tragedy took place a year ago. The father, any truth to the rumors that the Metcalf boys used to beat up the father and he wasn't really around? I mean, not that that would matter, but, the things that we've been hearing about Austin Metcalf being a bully, I don't know if that was ever brought up in the case, whether that was proved, disproved. Have you heard anything that we can latch on to here now that the sentencing has come down? Sunday?
I haven't heard anybody corroborate that. And even if it were true, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I don't care what he did. I don't care what he did. That doesn't justify you taking out a weapon and then ending his life.
Okay.
There used to be a thing called fist fight, now everybody wants to kill people. It's disgusting. These Gen Zs and these Gen Alphas, they just want to go directly to murder, and it's absolutely disgusting. Okay. What happened to the good old fist fight? And then both of y'all get in trouble, and then you hash it out, and then there's some sort of mediation. But why does it have to result into murder? Okay. And his mother justifies, condones, and protects that behavior. She should be in prison with him, as far as I'm concerned. And these type of people, this type of FBA, and I'm not saying all FBA are this way, but this type of FBA is dangerous. They're dangerous to society because they have so much rage and hatred towards whites. And I understand racism is a very hard thing to deal with on a regular basis. I totally get it. But it doesn't mean that you get to prey upon white people. That doesn't solve the problem. You need therapy.
Okay.
Or relocate. If you're so enraged by whites, relocate. Go to a black community or go back to Africa. It doesn't make sense to think that you can go around killing people and thinking that there's going to be no consequence.
Okay. Hey, might you be available later? I may call you back because I do want to have different opinions, and I so appreciate you calling in early.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sunday. Thank you. Okay. Crown, is that you? Tap it in. Area code 202. Crown from D.C.?
Crown from D.C. in the building.
Yes, sir. Good to hear from you. You have the floor.
How you doing, sir? I know how you are. Watched the show numerous times, so I'm not going to respond to the first caller who clearly has a white supremacist mind state.
Well, hold on a sec. Hold on a second. I mean, I don't mind people addressing other callers as long as it's not like, tearing into them. She said some things about FBA, Foundational Black Americans. You can clear that up if you feel the need to. You are a proud FBA. Please.
Yes, sir, I am. I don't feel the need to. We've explained it numerous times. The person already knows. I'm not going to go too far into that. This is ridiculous. This is just another situation of white supremacy protecting their own.
Okay.
that man, that young child, that young student, star student, A student, defended himself when he was attacked. Nobody speak, no, and then the jury just happened to be all white in Texas. Texas needs, we gonna stand behind, we're gonna continue to stand, me, myself, I know how you do the weave. Me, myself, gonna continue to do, stand behind, the Karmelo Anthony family. Everybody, listen, Texas needs to turn up. And put your cell phones down if you're gonna take care of business. The folks, the boys don't need to know what you're doing. Texas needs to turn up. 35 years, the boy defended himself. I don't understand any Neanderthal that has the mindset of Karmelo was wrong for defending himself because it should have been a fist fight equal. No, these two white Neanderthals were towering over him. And he had the right to defend himself. Listen, like you said the other day, they effed around and they found out. Yeah. And for the mom of the Metcalf family, if you miss your son that much, go meet him. That's how I'm feeling.
Easy, Crown. Easy. Now let me ask you a question. Since we're trying to be as objective as possible here, Collin County, which is where this took place. Okay, stand your ground. Most of us have a basic understanding of that, not really in detail, and it's all water under the bridge now. But for other young people coming up, is there a lesson to be learned here? Sometimes it's better to swallow your pride, take your L, and leave. I'm not saying, hang on, I'm not saying, that it could have went a different way, but sometimes as an individual, sometimes it's better to just say, you know what, let me get out of here. I'm not going to play this game.
No, this is not a message to the youth or anybody else that's the wrong mindset. We as foundational Black Americans, we are the only ones that resist constantly against white supremacy. We're not going to act like any other ethnic group in the biggest continent on the planet. I'm not going to say the name, just let white people slap us up. No, we done doing that. There was a whole Edmund Peterson Bridge getting slapped up. We're not doing that. We defending ourselves. We don't care who you are, adult, child, whatever. We're going to hold it down regardless. It's the right. That's the law. Now, of course, the law is meant for only white people to follow and for only white people to get past. No, but that's for all. That's for the rights that we fought for. So that young student, I don't want to say child because he's a student, young adult, had a right to defend himself in Texas because that's the law. Let's talk about the law. And again, the damn jury was full of nothing but Neanderthals. Had nothing to do with Black people. I don't want to hear this people of color. I don't want to hear this minority. There were no foundation. There were no Black Americans on that jury. This was a setup from the jump. And I'm not going to repeat what I said because
hold on a second, Crown. Now, with regards to the jury selection, I don't know all the details, right? But both, legal teams have to agree on the selection. You don't necessarily have to disagree all the time, but you have to ultimately agree on the selection. Was the pickings slim for that particular county and for that particular trial? That I don't know. Were the pickings that slim that they couldn't find anybody, a jury of his peers, Black?
I highly doubt it. I've been to Texas only once. Some time ago. Of course, I'm from DC. I highly doubt it. Okay. I don't want to hear that.
Okay.
There's no excuse. Now, I do agree. His defense team, we may have to do a show on his defense team. They may need to be looked at. Yeah. I do agree on that part. But other than that, the young student had a right to defend himself. If the other way around, okay. Come on now. Okay. So, yeah.
Great to hear from you, Crown. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Phone lines are open. Thank you for your contributions. You can speak freely. Okay, Spanky Bighead, good to see you, sir. Okay. QB, I got your Cash App. Hey, darling, she says, no 17-year-old black man deserve life in prison. Okay. Thank you, QB. Hang on a second. I think I have, is this Big Elvis? The Chef Rosenberg. Elvis, is that you, sir, tapping in Tuesday night?
Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg. I am here, sir.
Good to hear from you. Where do you want to start, sir?
Let me start off by giving a little pushback.
Come on.
Black people didn't show up to be on the jury. They're the least amount of people that showed up. It wasn't like everybody showed up, oh, I want to be on this juror.
Okay.
I want to make sure this young man get out. That's the problem. Everybody always, oh, it was only black and Hispanic people he wasn't represented properly, but there wasn't enough turnout. There wasn't enough turnout. There wasn't a huge amount of black people saying, I want to be in. They didn't want no part of it. And let me tell you, 35 years, I think they said something about 20 years he can get paroled possibly if he's, does the right thing or whatever have you.
Half of 30, 35. Half of 35.
Half of 35. So what's that, 17? Something like that?
Yes,
18?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, that's not bad, man. He's a young guy. He's like 20 years old. This happened when he was 17. He'll get past this. But the young man that he victimized will never get past it because he's gone. So the 18 years seems like a lot, but it's really not because he can still have a life. He can still have a family. He can still have children. And, I have a son. My son is a kid who wants to walk around with his shirt off in the projects. And he ain't even from the projects. Right. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have a little YN running around, and I'm looking at him like on his scooter, and then he's flipping the scooter. I'm like, what are you flipping your scooter like that for? He said, oh no, I'm just practicing just in case I gotta hit somebody upside the head. I'm like, what? I said, dude, that's aluminum. You'll kill somebody. You didn't think about that part? It's like these kids don't think. And it's their parents' fault. And I think that young Karmelo deserved everything he got for not wanting to be in a fight. How dare you not just, why you ain't hook off on the kid? Yo, he hit the kid so hard with that knife, broke through all his clothing and his breastplate, and it knocked off one of the valves in his heart, destroyed his, like, why you didn't hit him in the jaw like that?
Yeah. These
kids, they all want to be tough. They all want to be.
He was very much smaller than the twins, though. Elvis, to be fair, he's smaller.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He
but
was,
look.
And he was sitting down. Two big ass corn-fed white boys towering over you. To be fair.
Yeah, but why wasn't he prepared to just exit then? My aunt told me, she said a good run is better than a bad stand.
Okay.
And let me tell you, this kid did not think. He only cared about his own. He didn't want to be embarrassed. He cared about his ego. And he was going to show this kid how gangster he really was. Right. And he took the kid's life. Like I said the last time I called, the bully gets stand up to, but the bully doesn't die. Why? Because when you stand up to the bully, even if he would have lost, he would have been friends with the bully after that, and then they could take over the world. They could go to college. They could open up a business in 10 years. They could have taken off. They could have come up with a new.
That sounds great in theory. But we have to deal with what we have. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Any comments on the New York Knicks losing Game 3? Whoa.
It's business, Star. Okay. That last quarter is business. Some of those shots, all those air balls in the last quarter, it's business.
Okay.
You think the Madison Square Garden waited 50 years to only get 4 days of money?
Okay. You're saying it's rigged, yes?
It's all rigged? This is 7 games.
It's all rigged?
It's 7 games. So there's an opportunity. Say that again?
You're saying it's rigged. It's scripted. The finals? What are you saying?
Let me just say this. This is one of the most realest games I've seen in 20 years.
Okay.
Well, I normally say yes. I think the last quarter, it was a little scripted towards the end, but it's business, man. Okay. 7 games makes more money than 4 games. I'll tell you that.
I got to take other calls. Elvis, thank you, man.
Yo,
yes, sir.
He got what he deserved.
Okay. Thank you, Big Elvis, the chef. Someone's been on hold. Thank you for your patience, guys. I'm going to try and get your calls. The Cash App link is at the top of the live chat. You can send your questions in there as well. Who's been on hold for area MC 0684? Hey there. Thank you for your patience. Area code 773. Yes.
Hey, what's up, Star? How we doing tonight?
Good. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Lord Johnson 48, man. I call all the time, man. Long time caller. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I just want to say I'm just shocked at black folks because, hey, you just got to call it what it is. the young man was wrong. This was murder. Hey, all this silly stuff, he killed a guy. Just period. That's in the story. Hey, people are trying to justify killing a guy over a push, or like the caller before last, getting his blood pressure.
But hang on a second now. Why are you lumping all black people together, and just grouping hold on, and grouping them in? I mean, a lot of times what we see on social media is propaganda. You know that. So are you really saying all or most black people? What are you saying?
Hey, you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
This verbal people that are online, or people who hold that sentiment. I just don't understand it.
Well,
I really don't.
Could be trolls and bots. There's a lot of things that, 20, 30 years ago, I didn't mean to cut you off. A lot of things 20, 30 years ago were not in play. And now it's hard now to know what is fake news, what is real. There used to be a thing where they would say men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. Now the numbers lie. So I just wanted to say, that, but continue. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you hear it, and I got family and friends who share the same sentiment, and it's odd. Again, they're making a martyr out of this young man. Again, hey, he was on some tough guy time, and this ain't nothing new with young men being on tough guy time and making extremely poor decisions, being a tough guy. And I was listening to your show yesterday.
Thank you.
And like you said, you said, pardon my language, Karmelo, hey, they effed around and found out because Karmelo was on some tough guy time. Hey, and look, I carry a weapon. I know I listen to your show all the time. You carry a weapon too.
Yeah.
And when we carry weapons, hey, it's something in your head. Okay, I got this on me. If I'm going to engage with this weapon I got, I'm ultimately going to have to pay some consequences when I use this. I might have to sit in a trial.
Yeah.
And so if I use this, it's going to have to be justifiable. So I can't let monkey shit
So you got to watch the language. Please. Come on.
Yeah.
Please with the language.
Copy. Hey, I can't let little stuff make me do something really irrational. I'll give the young man the bail. I will give the young man. He was a young man. He's a child. His brain has not fully developed.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. That's what I'll give that young man. Okay. But all these people trying to make him a martyr, that's insane. He was a young man that made a very bad decision, and he's going to have to pay for it. He took a life.
Okay. I appreciate the call. Anything with regards to the New York Knicks, or do you not care? Are you a Spurs fan? Who am I speaking to?
Hey, I'm a Chicagoan, but I want to see the Knicks get a championship.
Okay.
I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that city go crazy.
Appreciate the call.
Have a good one, man.
Yes, sir. Salute. Okay.
Hey.
Okay, guys. Thank you for your donations. Worldwide Wells. Wow. Okay. This is the objective perspective. Feel free to, call in, chime in. People saying he got what he deserved. No, he got what he earned. Do your time like a G. Who's next? FBA's up. Here's the guy who I want to talk to, Florida Boy Jay, tapping in Tuesday night.
Big nigga, what's going on, man? We celebrating right now, man.
Celebrating?
We celebrating. Listen, all these blacks that get mad, with a little dirt, spin the block on the black community, with King Von spin the block on the black community, and we buy their albums.
Okay.
We let them go triple platinum. The realest nigga out here is Karmelo Anthony. He clipped O'Fay. He did what we always tell him to do. Hey, when O'Fay run down, you run down on O'Fay. Austin Metcalf cannot appeal the afterlife, but Karmelo Anthony can appeal this sentence. And even if he doesn't, we've been saying since George Floyd, we've been saying since Trayvon Martin, when is one of ours going to clip one of theirs? And when that happens, are we going to stand by whatever consequences the system puts on that man, because we finally got somebody with the balls to make something happen. And when they make something happen, you stand by whatever decision they make something happen. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely.
I hear what you're saying, and you have the right to say what you're saying. I have a question, do you think that Karmelo Anthony had some bitch in him? A little bitch in him. Maybe he had no hand skills. Maybe that's why he, conducted himself the way he did. And he cried after the stabbing. He cried when the sentencing conviction came down. I'm not sure about the sentencing, but he cried when the conviction down. Was he a mama's boy? Not that he couldn't be, but I'm just asking, who is Karmelo Anthony? I mean, was he bullied? He supposedly he had oh God, what's that when you have fits, epileptic fits? You know what I'm talking about? What do they call that, guys, in the live chat? Seizures. Who was Karmelo? I that sounds hot. Yeah, they got one. Oh, we take one. That sounds hot. I get it. But do you think he had a little, for lack of better words, a little bitch in him?
No. I just think he was a victim of his black successful parents trying to assimilate him in a white society, in a white county, in a white neighborhood that don't take kindly to blacks. And instead of you trying to raise your child in a black neighborhood, you want to assimilate him to whiteness. And if you grew up in the suburbs, I grew up in the suburbs. When black kids grow up in the suburbs, you are going to be one or two types of black. You're going to coon and assimilate to get along with whitey, or you're going to put hands and feet on whitey. There's no middle ground.
I disagree, but I hear you. I disagree. Go ahead.
What he did was what needed to be done. And if they got GoFundMes, listen, he's going to be okay where he's going. Yeah, he cried. That's a child. He's supposed to cry. Most of these niggas online talking tough is going to cry. Somebody told you getting 35 years. But he did what a lot of these niggas scared to do to a lot of the people who's doing what they're doing to us. Like something that happened in South Carolina. That dude's still walking around. Dude who did what he did to Trayvon Martin. That dude's still walking around. When you have the conditioning of what happened to Karmelo Anthony, and when you become that age, he's not putting up with that. He did what he needed to do, and he could fight an appeal. But Austin can't fight death. You can't appeal the grave. So I understand that was an unfair trial. That wasn't.
I'm a little confused. Trayvon Martin was killed in Florida. Did you mean the young boy who was killed by Rick Chow in South Carolina?
I'm saying Rick Chow's still going home to eat dinner with his family, right?
Two different types of cases, though. I mean, are we going to compare the two? Where are we going?
What I'm saying, who's the dude who killed Michael Jackson? Daniel Penny still's going home to eating dinner with his family, right?
You got to give context. Where did for those who don't know, Daniel Penny was killed where? What state? You got to give us a state.
Daniel Penny killed the Michael Jackson impersonator in the subway in New York.
New York City. Yeah, Manhattan.
Right. What I'm trying to say is that Karmelo Anthony reversed what's been happening to us. And because we live in a system of white supremacy is going to punish him for showing them what we're capable of.
Okay.
So instead of sitting here, continuing to be victims and crying on a line, celebrate that a child had the balls to do what a lot of you hoe-ass niggas don't want to do, haven't done, and have fell and died for refusing to do what Karmelo Anthony stood up and did.
Okay.
And as much as we've been saying that we need to do this, we need to stand up, we need to do this, we need to do that, Karmelo Anthony actually put boots to the ground and balls to the wall and did what y'all been telling niggas to do for the last 10 years. And he faced the consequences of actually standing up for himself. So
you're saying he's a martyr in a sense. That's what you're saying?
He is. Listen, absolutely. Listen, at the end of the day, Karmelo Anthony's going to wake up tomorrow. Austin Metcalf ain't.
Hey, Matt, great to hear from you. Any comments with regards to the Spurs now taking a game from the Knicks in Madison Square Garden last night? Florida Boy Jay?
Yeah, man. Series over. Knicks losing in 6. Your father was a prick. Knicks losing in 6.
6. I'm sorry, Spurs
it's
in
over
6.
with. Hey,
Okay.
Spurs in 6. It was too many Epstein Island alumni, too many bandwagons, too many bad luck charms in the garden yesterday. Y'all going outside, jumping old heads, beating up Spurs fans because y'all in New York. Listen,
I'm gonna play some of those videos. I loved it. Catching Spurs fans.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, hey, sorry, just like I've been trying to say for years. Because all the D-riding fake Knicks fans got to buy tickets last night, the crowd wasn't hyped. It was a bunch of flow showing, bunch of bandwagons.
Okay.
And that bad juju is the reason why the Spurs snatched the hearts from the Knicks, and they're going to do it again in Game 4.
Okay.
And in Game 5, they're going to take it back to San Antonio. Listen, Spurs, you go hear it here first. Spurs about to win 4 straight starting last night.
Okay.
And New York Knicks fans are about to burn down Madison Square Garden at the end of Game 6.
I'm going to let you get back to your Hennessy. Salute.
Salute.
Florida Boy Jay tapping in. Charlie, I got your donation via Cash App. Thank you so much. Damn, they gave Karmelo caveman time. Hi, Penelope. I got your donation. Thank you so much. Crown tapping in again. Damn, Crown is going hard in the paint. Crown, I'm not going to read that, but you're talking about the rest of the Metcalf family. Sheesh. Hang on a sec. Uh-oh. Area code 415. Good evening. Is that who I think it is? Tapping in. 415.
John Blaze on the check-in.
Good to hear from you, sir. You have the floor. Where do you want to start?
Carmelo Anthony suffered from what we discussed earlier, which is the post-traumatic slave syndrome, to which is exemplified by Joy DeGroy's exploration of how centuries of slavery, followed by the systematic racism, have left multi-generational imprint on this young Negro.
Right.
Let's talk about it. Through historical analysis. Now let's go to the academia side of things when it comes to this young Negro that was put into this particular circumstance. Now, through historical analysis, psychology and the lived experience, this book traces the patterns of internalized oppression, survival behaviors, and the vital steps towards his individual healing. Now, if we look at Dr. Joy's book, it's centered around 4 key arguments to which to be applied to Karmelo Anthony, which first defines the post-traumatic slave syndrome as a condition that was rooted in the multi-generational trauma caused by centuries of chattel slavery and sustained through the institutionalized racism, such as Jim Crow and mass incarcerations. But unlike PTSD, it arises from individual trauma. Now, that's what we're looking at right now, because Karmelo Anthony reflected Black post-traumatic stress that referred to his heightened risk through this interaction with the white little boy. You see what I'm saying? And the severity of the post-traumatic stress disorder that he has, he experienced this same institutionalized racism that was, done through historical through the Black American experience, which was often compounded by racial trauma. That's why he got the bladings, got the cutting.
If I can jump in, John Blaze.
Thematic.
If I can jump in. And,
yes, sir.
And we've been discussing this. For those who don't know, you can pick up a book. You can check out a video, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Some people laugh. I think at some point in the very near future, this might be a plausible defense. Situations like this where you get an all-white jury. I mean, maybe there were no Black jurors available. I pointed out Karmelo Anthony was crying. I asked a question. Maybe he had a little bitch in him, but maybe he's been suffering. We don't know the depths of whether he's been bullied, harassed. I don't know who he was. I couldn't get that much information. But I just want to say that because, it could be a plausible defense in the future, post-traumatic slave syndrome. Please continue.
Absolutely. And let's defer to what you just mentioned in terms of the suffering. And this suffering is the reason why Karmelo Anthony was more vulnerable in this particular case, because Dr. also referred to the several factors that contribute to a post-traumatic syndrome rates in the Black community, which was the racial discrimination and profiling. These are daily experiences of biasness to which he was affected. The racial profiling and the police encounters can trigger chronic stress and PTSD symptoms, to which we can see that was happening in this particular case. Refer to the historical trauma, the legacy of slavery. Look at the racial stereotypes and his individual expectations that was internalized through particular stereotypes of that Black man. Why he couldn't sit at that tent, why he couldn't participate in a civil discussion, because the barriers to care was limited to access to culturally competent mental services, that the stigma and the socio-economic barriers reduced the treatment for this young nigga. So when we look at how the PSTD manifests in him as well as in the Black community, the symptoms in this particular population, as sometimes the doctor referred into her book, it was the intrusive thoughts or the flashbacks related to this violence. And this is the racial violence of discrimination to which he experienced. The avoidance of places or situations associated with the trauma. The tent experience demonstrated that. So this can and should have been included in that trial, because you got to go to the academia side of things, because the book also focused on mood changes, the how the distrust of authority. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These symptoms can be both acute following a specific trauma event. That's why he pulled out the blade. Y'all, come on now. Let's go to the academia side and find out.
Let me jump in for a second, John Blaze. We're going to have to come back and do a panel and really talk a little bit more about post-traumatic slave syndrome for those who don't know, for those who might be interested. The trial itself was pretty quick, wouldn't you say? And I don't know what an appeal would look like. Any projections, any thoughts about some type of different approach? I don't know if they're going to use post-traumatic slave syndrome, but something with regards to Karmelo Anthony and the appeal that might be more so to his advantage.
Well, I mean, stand your ground laws did not work to his advantage at all during the trial. Right. So how does the stand your ground laws itself would be able to be applied just when you look at the existence of this law, to which the laws of self-defense statutes that remove the legal requirement to retreat before using force? Did that apply in this case, including deadly force? In this particular confrontation, you look at the origins of the legal evolution of stand your ground laws, which is the Castle Doctrine. The foundation is the Castle Doctrine dating back to English common law. Or when you look at stand your ground, it was the stand your ground laws are not for a Negro. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because the expansion of when you look at the issues when it comes to legal evolution of stand your ground law, you look at it as dating back to English common law. You see what I'm saying? The expansion to public spaces, what were they looking at? Does that apply to the Negro? No, it don't. Stand your ground laws extend to the principle beyond the home to any place you have a legal right to be, such as the streets, the park, including a goddamn tent. You see what I'm saying? So the Negro and the home, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they looked at the history of it, why it wasn't used into the court, because the stand your ground law does not apply to any nigga then when it comes to the judicial system. There's a historical shift. Traditionally in the U.S., law required a duty to retreat outside the home, like you just mentioned. But late in the 19th century, cases began to relax this. By the 1980s to the 2000s, many states codified no duty to retreat provisions in that goddamn law. You niggas ain't got he's cooked, Star. He's cooked.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Let's keep it real, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at the history of the stand ground law, the core purpose, you see what I'm saying? The stated goal is to empower white folks, to empower the individuals to protect themselves without the aided legal burden of trying to escape first. The white folks is that laws for white folks, y'all. It's not for the Negro, man. You know, we got to keep it real. You know, I'm from Oakland. I'm from over here in the Bay Area, and there ain't no stand your ground laws. You see what I'm saying? You know, my mama was a Black Panther. My uncle was a Black Panther. You see what I'm saying? They on crack. They went on crack. You see what I'm saying? So when Reagan went ahead and told these Negroes, we're going to take the gun out of your head, then what happened?
And he did.
You see what I'm saying? And so we can go deep. We can go deep in it, man. I got some groceries and I wanted to cook, but I'm not going to be on this line to take up too much of your time, man.
I appreciate
this
you,
is a long conversation.
I appreciate
you know, and I appreciate your conversation, and I appreciate your academia side to applying this issue right now. So continue to cook, big nigga.
Thank you, man.
Salute.
Yes, sir. John Blaze. Guys, thank you for your Cash Apps. I'm trying to get them on the screen. If I missed one, please email me. You have my email address. Somebody send a Cash App and call me Uncle Star. Please don't do that. I hate that Unc stuff. Who was that? I couldn't find. I'm trying to put it on the screen, but maybe it's a good thing I couldn't find it. God, I hate that Unc nonsense. Sheesh. Hey, Courtney, I got your donation. Thank you so much, Courtney. You are appreciate it. The Walk On got your donation. Okay, he's going hard in the paint at Sunday. Thank you, The Walk On. Wait a minute. There you are on a Tuesday night. Janet, how are you? Good evening. Janet.
It's Tuesday? I thought it was Wednesday. Hey, Star, how are you?
It's Tuesday. Don't rush. What's going on?
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I'm retired, so I don't even be, paying attention to the days.
Come on.
I'm calling about the Karmelo Anthony thing, the murder conviction.
Sentenced 35 years. Came out about an hour, less than 2 hours ago. He was convicted hours ago, but sentenced to 35 years. What say you, Janet?
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to win on appeal.
Okay.
Because that should have been criminally negligent homicide with the crime of passion attached for sentencing. Because if you look at it this way, I don't know what was going on with his lawyer. If you look at it this way, they said that the blade was 3.5 inches. It was 2.5 inches inside of the heart. And then the sternum, depending on how old you are, is 0.5 to 1.2 inches thick and very, very hard to penetrate because it's a solid bone. So in order for that to happen, I think the man pushed them, and as they went down, that's when the knife went in, and it went in with Karmelo's left hand because blood was only found on Karmelo's left hand.
Janet, do you have proof that you said fell down? What'd you say? Go back for a second.
I think because my whole thing is because of the pressure needed. The coroner report said it broke through the sternum. Okay. And anybody can look up how hard it is to punch through a sternum because that's solid bone, except at the bottom of it.
Did that come out in the trial that they fell down or something? Listen, I want to be as...
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I want to be as accurate as possible. Come on, you're from my generation. Hang on. We can't be just, putting a whole bunch of stuff out there and, theories at this point. We had a couple of witnesses. Can we stick to that, please?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can stick to that. What I'm talking about is the appeal. Because my whole thing is murder is intentional. There's no way it could be intentional when the man asks, was the guy okay? When the young man asks, was the other guy okay? So in a police report. So that shows no malice to inflict, to murder someone. Okay. That statement right there, stops that. So I'm just saying, I think that this is a horrible misjustice. People lost their son, which is horrible. And yes, he should be accounted for it, but he should be accounted for it according to the law. He shouldn't be accounted because of his race or because of people's emotions.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in? Mm-hmm. Now, you do great research. You've helped me out with some research in the past. You said a crime of passion. I don't think that applies here. Did you mean to say sudden passion? Because we discussed sudden passion on this platform before.
Yeah, I say with
crime of passion. Hold on. Crime of passion would have been some type of relationship or some type of, connection or bond, something like that. But these guys really didn't know each other like that. You meant to say sudden passion.
Well, okay. All right. Well, you can look it up, but I'm thinking, but I know that they do the.
No, I have sudden passion right here. I don't have to look it up. I have it right here. Sudden passion.
All right. Well, they do that in the sentencing. It's not actually a charge. They put that as a mandate for the sentencing. They don't put, that's not a charge. The criminal negligent homicide that I say should be the charge. And they should, when they do the sentences, they should invoke that, the passion mandate. That's what I was saying. So,
well, the judge did not accept.
Either way, I don't know.
No, stay with me.
I think on the political.
Janet, hang on, stay with me. The judge did not accept the sudden passion, play by the defense. He got 35 years. Can we speak to that and, your assessment of things? I want to stay as close to the facts that we have. 3 witnesses were called by the defense. 2 of the 3 ultimately had to admit on the stand that they didn't see what they initially said in their statements that they saw. So do you think that his lawyer blew it? Legal team, they blew it.
I think he had inadequate representation.
Okay.
Because it was too many questions that went unanswered. Too many questions that was supposed to be asked. You have a young man's life at stake. It's another man who's buried. We have to get to the whole truth to have justice really, really prevail in this case. So I think they should do. I think they're going to be great on the appeal, but I think he has to change his. I think he has to change his legal representation, because my whole thing is when they came out to charge him with murder in the first place, that should have never been. Just based on the police report itself.
Okay.
It should have never been. Okay, that's all I had to say.
Okay.
You good?
I appreciate you. Are you rooting for the Knicks? I forgot to ask.
Oh, I had both of my babies here last night, and we watched the Knicks, and then we wanted them to win, and they didn't win, and it felt so nice having both of my boys here. We had pizza, we had Wendy's, and we watched the whole thing together. I loved it. I really did.
Great to talk to you, Janet. Huh? Bye now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Okay. Okay. Who's that calling me Uncle Brother Star? You're just trying to annoy me. But at least you sent it a donation. Okay. Hey, Lucy's Pearl. How you been? Hey, Marcia. Good to see you. Hey, Vera. Everybody sit tight. Crown, you might have to call back, man. I appreciate you spending Skrilla. Oh, wow. Okay. Crown going hard at Sunday. Crown, do you want to, I'm not trying to start nothing, but do you want to talk to Sunday on the line? So Sunday's willing to call back in. I'm not trying to start nothing, but, just in case. Here's the homie, Ecuador. How have you been? Where have you been? Ecuador.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good to hear from you. I was expecting to hear from you when Jay-Z performed at the Roots picnic. You are the #1 Jay-Z hater. What happened?
Hater. Yeah. Well, I've been taking a seat back and just seeing how everybody's turning on Jay-Z. I don't have to do any work anymore.
Okay.
What's going on, people? If you go on social media, everything that I was talking about before, like everybody's like catching up, and the wave of hate is not hate, more like the wave of realizing who this guy really is.
It's hate. Ecuador, we have already established, and I appreciate you. You have admitted to being the #1 hater of that black man. You've admitted it. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I hate fake people,
I'm listening. Come on.
when it comes to Carmelo Anthony, dude, it's been painful. I'll be honest. I never comment on like I think every race should do like fix their own problems. And I'm never giving advice or saying, oh, this is what black people need to do. But it's just, but listening to the past, like almost an hour of like black callers calling in, and I'm like, I just can't, like, I mean, it just basically perpetuates what happened with Karmelo Anthony. I look at the situation and I look at it as black and white. I'm like, I look at it objectively, and I could objectively, even a person with like a super severe low IQ, which probably can test as retarded, can tell you by looking at the situation objectively that Karmelo Anthony was in the wrong. And I know black people are just saying this because he's black, because if the colors were reversed, so if the Metcalf kid was black and Carmelo was white, they'd be calling and they'd be saying, "Put Carmelo in the chair, like hang him, whatever." Like it's just like it's so obvious. My thing is just like, you guys are perpetuating this to happen again. Like I like FBJ. I don't know if he's trolling when he said what he said.
No, he's as serious as colon cancer. But now, hold on a second. Ecuador, you call in, and for those who don't know, Ecuador is you're a proud American. Your lineage is from Ecuador, yes? For those who don't know?
Yes.
Okay. You have gone in balls deep on people from Ecuador and other places in South America who come here undocumented. You call them spics and all sorts of stuff. We let you do it. So you are an equal opportunity hater, and I appreciate that. But let me ask you a question. Can you, to some degree, understand the pain that black people feel in this country? The hundreds of years, the lynchings, I mean, there were no old folks' homes back in the days of slavery. When black people got old and they couldn't work, they put them down like sick dogs and animals who just serve no more purpose. That's not even spoke about too often. So can you in any way, shape, or form try to understand, not that you have to culturally bond, but can you understand the pain, the hurt that some black people may feel, and they say, that could have been my goddamn son? Can you see that in any way, shape, or form? If not, just say no, Star. No.
Oh, yes, I can definitely see that. And like, I mean, there's no denying there's no denying, like, even back in the 50s, like, not too long ago, like, it was crazy racist, bro, like crazy racist. But I've always said this, dude, when I came from Ecuador, the first thing that I realized is how much more racist they are in Ecuador, in South America, than they are in the United States when it comes to black people. Like, one thing I realized is that in the United States, people really in general, they do see you based on your merit. And that's why you see all the CEOs of the big tech companies are all Indian immigrants. Like, they don't even speak English without an accent, most of them, right? But in Ecuador, I remember, dude, they were so racist towards black people. Like, if you see a black guy, like, driving a nice car, they would say, okay, the guy either stole the car, he's a soccer player, or he's the chauffeur.
Okay.
Like that's how racist they are. Like, they literally.
Yeah, I think we understand it about Ecuador, but you're here. You're a proud American. I forget what you do for a living. And hey, man, I appreciate you supporting this show, but I just wanted to ask that question because I myself, I am an objectivist. I'm not a Democrat.
Yeah.
I do not support tribalism. However, I know how to move in this beautiful country because I know how I am perceived. I had great parents, and I had a network of people that helped, me manifest and grow, and my aunties and uncles. So I just had to say that. But listen, go ahead and land your plane. I'm backed up on calls. Good to hear from you. What do you want to say?
Yeah, of course. I just want to land my plane saying that I think the whole black community as a whole would be better if they would just say that he was unfortunate what he did. He was definitely in the wrong, and like basically use this as an example as like not to throw your life away for like something that small. Like it just makes no sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man. Salute.
A good one. Yeah, thanks for the show. Peace.
Ecuador. Man, he goes in on Jay-Z. Woo! He also goes in on his own kind. Hey, I don't have my contacts in. It's Vanilla Dice Baby. Got your donation or your comment on the screen. Star, maybe if black mothers stopped fathering black sons, this probably wouldn't be such an issue. That sounds great. It sounds great, but you know, are you in support of eugenics, sterilizing people? I mean, to be fair, I had to ask. Call in if you like. There he is, white boy Rory, tapping in. Please give me your A game. Watch the language. Please.
Wow.
Come on.
What a racist show it is tonight. I can't believe some of the hate I was hearing. Oh my God. I'm loving it though. You know, Black America is showing the world on a massive scale how racist they are. And that's a good thing. If there's one good thing that came out of this whole tragic situation, it's that everybody sees how racist Black America really is. And they're the ones I think in 2026 who perpetuate the racism and the hate. You know, they even funding the KKK. They even got busted for funding the KKK. So you know, this little coward he got what he deserves. I'm sure he's in a real cold, lonely cell, something he ain't used to right now, and he deserves every bit of that. You know. I don't think he's getting out after 17 years, just because that's Texas. Just because that's when he's first eligible for parole in 17 years. He's got murder on his jacket. You don't get parole right away. That's not a given.
Yeah, I mean, we played a video earlier. He's got to do it 17 first. But now hold on a second, Roy, because you know you and I are friends. We're all racist. Yeah. We're all racist. Everybody's not prejudiced, but you know, and the old hold on. The old Webster dictionaries, for those who don't know, used to describe racist or racism as one concerned with one's own races. You know, and yes, we can talk about race being a social construct, yada yada yada. But now, with regards to what happened, and you know, the sad reality that's upon both families. Yeah. What do you say to the younger generation coming up who are going to be in situations like this? You see, I also want to talk to young people tonight, and you've heard me say sometimes you have to accept your L. Don't let your ego get in the way. Take your loss. Walk away. Mm-hmm. I get violated at the drive-thrus. And I just sometimes there's no goddamn cheese on the Junior Whopper. Sometimes the fries are burnt. Sometimes they give me a flat goddamn soda. I just let me just keep it going because I'm not going to go back and have a fight or a shootout over some goddamn fast food. What can you say to the younger generation that may help at this point in time? Let's use this as a teachable moment, please.
Yeah, well, I would say just to sort of, I don't have any compassion for Karmelo Anthony or his family. For me personally, I only have compassion for the Metcalf family. I thought he was a complete coward, what he did. That's not tough. Somebody tells you they're not going to fight you because it's a track meet. They ask you repeatedly, please, to leave. You know, sometimes in life, this is the problem, Star, with like trying to teach you.
Well, who said please leave? Who said please? Austin Metcalf didn't say please. He didn't say please.
They said that at least 6 or 7 different people had asked him to leave, more than 14 times. So
give me your source because I watched the.
It's the transcript.
Hold on.
That was
The transcripts have not been released yet. Hold on. Transcripts.
Well, I have some eyewitness testimony. I got the testimony here from the defense. The people that he called as his witnesses, they got up there, and the guy said he didn't deserve that, and that it was murder. That was his own defense witness.
He was not
other defense.
Hold on, Rory. He was. That was his own. Rory, hold on. He was not in the wrong for being there. So who said please leave? I didn't get that. Come on.
Well, let's not get stuck on the please word. Karmelo Anthony walked over. Hold on a second. He walked over to them. They weren't bothering anybody. So you just leave people alone. You walk over to where a bunch of people are that want you to leave, that don't want you there. It's over at that point. It's all over. And for a normal person, right? You don't stay there. And what his own eyewitness said when they asked him to leave, he said, you ain't going to do nothing. What you going to do about it? You're all a bunch of PW. I dare you do something. There you go. Like, he stabbed him with, like in a blink of an eye. He didn't have a chance to defend himself. He didn't think he was getting stabbed or it was a serious situation. I bet Austin would have mollywopped him with the goddamn blade. If he would have known that's what time it was, he had just told the kid, I'm not going to fight you. It's a track meet. We're at a track meet. I'm not going to fight you. Okay. Can you go? Go. Leave. Or even if he said, get the F out of here, when it was already like the 13th or 14th time. Listen, that kid's going to go through it, man. He got a murder on his jacket. He's going to be in a max security prison in the Texas Department of Corrections. He don't come from that life. He's really going to go through it. He's never going to be the same person again. All that nasty stuff you hear about jail, that really happens down in Texas and Arkansas and them places. They're going to get sweat equity out of him. He might get, he's going to get extorted. He might get sexually abused. All of that's going to happen to him.
Hold on, Rory, stay with me.
He deserves all of that. He deserves all of that.
Rory, stay with me. Be honest, because you and I are friends, and we talk on a consistent basis. Does it bother you to think that Karmelo Anthony might live like a boss? Might live like a boy, got a body. Does that bother you? Keep it real.
That doesn't bother me because the only people he would look like a boss to are ignorant suckers who don't know anything, who would do the same coward move he did. They would stab somebody when they weren't looking and pretend like that was a tough guy move. Okay. Why did he hand him a knife and be like, come on, let's shake right now? Why did he do that? You know what I mean? Like, you're kidding, right? This kid is a coward. Like I said, he's going to go through it. He's going to get extorted. He's going to be playing spades for his underwear. He's not ready for that life. Those black guys in there, all those Mexicans in there, they ain't to play. You kidding me? Okay. Texas prison ranked like the worst every year. Top 3 or 4 worst. So, yeah, he's definitely going to go through it. They got the chain gang down there. Okay. They'll work him to the bone. He'll have a bad back.
Hey, before you go, because I'm getting backed up on calls. Anything else with...
I hope he dies in this.
Anything... Easy. Come on. Anything else with... you and I were discussing earlier, North Belfast and that guy from the Sudanese guy. Any new developments? Your homeland, Ireland.
Yeah. Yeah, the Irish are starting to fight back now against the migrants. They're mostly like Africans and Muslims, and they got to go, and they will be made go. And, if they don't go, then the only reason they're going to stay there is because, they're going to be buried in the ground. It's going to happen all across Europe. It's just Ireland's a small country, and they're not playing. They're not playing with them. They're battle tested over there. They love it. They're ready for a fight.
Great to talk to you. Salute.
Off their guns. All right, man.
Salute. It's my friend Rory. Guys, sit tight in the phone queue. Please respect the Cash App. It's at the top of the live chat. Hey, Evelyn, I got your donation. Evelyn, what is your area code? I'm so sorry. Is it 5? What is area? This might be right here. Sit tight, Evelyn. Hey, Courtney, I got your message on the screen. Yes, Rory's my friend, but you spend Skrilla. Courtney said Rory's full of shit. Thank you for your continued support, darling. Okay, guys, that's my email address on the screen. And let me make sure I'm promoting my sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, please reach out to us. Okay. www.stacyglore.com/business. I urge you to go there for opportunities, marketing, sales, promotion. Okay. Tell Stacy Glore I sent you, okay? Let me see if this is Evelyn right here. I'm pretty sure it is. Evelyn, is that you, 951, tapping in Tuesday night, Evelyn?
You know it's me, Star. You know I couldn't wait for you to get on this phone.
I appreciate you. Where do you want to go, please?
Star, didn't I say before they went back to this trial to fire that goddamn lawyer? Because, see, sometimes your lawyer will say you out. You know that. You know that.
Yeah.
I know you do. You're a very smart man.
Oh, I'm a dropout. But hold on. Hold on.
That doesn't matter.
If I can try to remember what you said the other night. You said Karmelo Anthony should have fired his legal team. That's what you said, yes?
I told you that. I told you the other night.
Okay.
I said, Star, his parents need to go in there that morning when court gets started, and they need to fire that lawyer.
Okay.
So that
stay with me because I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the
that the trial would stop.
But hold on. Evelyn, please hold on.
Okay.
You know, it's not that easy sometimes as people would like to think. Let's look at this case in its totality. It moved fast. It moved fast. The jury came back fast with the conviction. Fast today with the sentencing. You know, judges sometimes will issue sanctions. A judge can remove a lawyer if the court is not moving according to how the judge wants to pace the trial. So that may not have been the best option. I hear you. Fire the lawyer. That sounds hot, but I don't think that the pickings were that good in the first place. Let's deal with what we have. 35 years. Let's start right there. Please, 35
and I
years.
told you,
Evelyn, Evelyn, most people don't remember. Please, let's pick it up now. 35 years.
It was. Let me go to the 35 years.
Come on.
I said it was somebody on the jury, maybe even 2 people on the jury, or even 3. They in that town. I said his friends turned against him. They changed their whole story, and that it was somebody on the jury that was going to take him under. I don't know if the people remember that, what I said, but I said that then. And I said, it's a shame that this boy, you can go I went in the live chat and even said, it's a shame that this boy going to lose his life, going to jail about a fight. Because even if it was the other way around with the white boy, I wouldn't want him to go and have to do no 35 years. And that's the truth. Because this is some kid stuff. This is really what but of course, like I said, in America, everything's about race. This is some kid mess. One kid thought he was bigger and better than the other kid, and the other kid didn't want to be punked, or was tired of being punked.
Yeah.
That's what all of this is about. And it's a shame. Everybody done lost. Yes, them the people they lost their son getting killed, but this was not shouldn't have even been no murder trial. This should have been what you call it?
Evelyn, can I jump in? I respect everything you're saying, but now you're out in Long Beach, California. If you don't know, if you don't know those Texas laws, then it's a different place, and you and I are older people, so we have to look at what we have, what is in front of us. Do you think, objectively speaking, and I'm not kicking his back in, do you think that Karmelo Anthony, maybe he was, a mama's boy, maybe he had some bitch in him, respectfully? maybe he's used to lashing out. Maybe he's used to that. Maybe, this is, I don't want to say it's good for him, but maybe what the end result was a lifetime of coddling, babying, him getting his way. And he did not know how to communicate. Again, you and I are older people. We come from a time when you had to communicate. You had to speak up. Our parents told us, open your mouth, right? Speak up. Speak up. Do you think that there's a possibility he's one of these young kids today, a YN, moping, playing in his hair, play video games, and doesn't know how to express himself, and stabbing Austin Metcalf was his way of communicating, objectively speaking?
Now, anything's possible, but Star, they did a background check on the boy. The boy never had no problems and stuff. He's never had no problems at school, never had no problems with the police. From what the story was going, the mom and the daddy are still together. They're married. They're together. They all live together. So, but you still can have some bitch in you. Now, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But if the family get down seemed like it was all right.
Hold on a second. People have been saying tonight in the live chat and when we've done these shows in the past, straight A student. That doesn't mean he didn't have some, what do they used to say, bitch assness in him. And I'm not trying to discredit him, but, the way that, wham, hit him with the blade. Come on, you and I come from that different era. I'm going to say this one more time. We knew when it was time to walk away. These kids today, fighting, brawling in public, to them, it's natural. He's only 19 years of age. Can I just ask you, objectively speaking, to just close it out with what you think, what happens moving forward? What about the appeal? What do you think about the sentencing, please?
That appeal is probably going to have to go through every one of them for him to get. He's not going to get no fair trial there. He might even have to go to the Supreme Court, which if the Supreme Court still sits the way that it does right now, they're not going to hear the case. Okay. So he's going to have to do some time. But one thing I really want to happen, if possible, is you brothers, that's real brothers that's there in prison, the prison that he's going to, I hope that y'all protect him and don't abuse him and don't let other people abuse him, because he's really there on a fluke. This could have happened to anybody, really, to tell you the truth, because
not anybody, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, if you walk into a restaurant tonight, Star, and you've been coming to this restaurant for years, and somebody then tells you, or pulls you by your arm, I'm just going to say that, and tells you, oh, you got to get up. You need to get on out of here. And you like, what? I've been coming over. I've been to this restaurant. I've been coming here 20 years. What are you talking about? But see, you had a foresight to see and know where this is going. Even though this person done pulled your arm and told you, I want you up and I want you out of here. And you didn't.
I'll do you one even better. Can you hear me, Evelyn? Can you hear me?
Huh?
I'll do you one even better. There's a place called City Island, right?
Uh-huh.
Early 90s. I carry a firearm in multiple states. City Island, restaurant called Sammy's. I'm with a Jamaican girl. Another female at the bar threw a drink on me.
What?
Threw a drink on me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to tell you where I knew her from or where she threw a drink on me. I grip up. I'm getting ready to air her out, the goddamn bartender and the other people who are giggling. The Jamaican girl grabbed me with her right hand, right? And the left hand grabbed my hand that was on my gun. She said, nope, let's go. And pushed me out the restaurant. And I left. So, no, sometimes you have to make the decision. Take your L and go home. Evelyn, I got to go. Great to talk to you.
That's true. Good talking to you, too.
Bye now.
Star.
Bye now.
And thank you.
Thank you. I like that comment on the screen. What is a straight A student mean when niggas can't read? That's one of the hardest comments of the night. These little niggas can't read today. They're getting pushed through school. Hey, Coco. I think Coco's responding to even more reason he was afraid to throw hands. Okay, are you saying he may have had a little bitch assness in him? I'm just, I'm not, again, trying to clown him, but he may have been babied, coddled too much, wearing them goddamn Pampers till he was 7 years old or something. I know that sounds crazy, but you know what I'm trying to say. Thank you for your comment, Coco. Crown, okay, Crown, are you calling in because Crown is going in Sunday? Do you want to call in and speak to Crown? I mean, I appreciate Crown's donations, but man, he's going in on Sunday. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Call Sunday wants to smoke now. Area code 718, good evening. Please watch the language. We're talking about the sentencing of Karmelo Anthony, 35 years. Breaking news a few hours ago. You have to speed.
Yes, I am.
Hey.
How you doing, Star?
I'm
Felicia
good.
here from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. What's
Hey.
going on?
How are you, darling?
Hey, so listen, I've got a couple of comments, particularly on that story you just told. You said you need to know when to leave, and I agree. But based on what you told us, you said the woman you was with told you we got to go.
Yeah, I was about to dump the steel up in Sammy's. She said, no, save my life. Save my life.
Coming out of Brooklyn, one of the things we always talk about is you need to know when to leave.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. And also, someone put up a comment about straight A's. An A is not the value of an A is not an A everywhere.
That's
Every school doesn't have the same value
That's
of an
a
A.
That's a fact.
So it depends on how competitive, how resourceful, the quality of the teachers and so forth and so on. So just for anybody who really wanted to know the answer to that.
Come on.
But I did want to respond to this sentencing and to this trial. And you were asking, did we think maybe he was coddled too much, or if Ms. Karmelo was, overly protected? I just wanted to share with you, and this is a record, and this is true, that he happens to be an epileptic, and he's been one since childhood.
I did hear that. I did, and that's what I was asking earlier, because he has a history of seizures.
Correct.
Yeah, come on.
So we know, anybody could look it up, that someone who has epilepsy can have both direct and indirect damage, particularly cognitive decline to the brain and to the neurons and things like that. And often they have uncontrolled seizures, which I don't know, no one said. He could have been having one during this altercation under the tent that interferes with normal brain activity, causes difficulty in focusing, it slows your thinking, it blurs your vision, and quite a few other things. So I thought I would just add that to the conversation, because unfortunately, we don't know. Not only did Karmelo not take the stand, and I understand why he didn't, but no one else did, to talk about who he is, what he likes, what his goals are, what happened to him, and what he's been doing since this situation occurred. So we have a lot of confusion and a lot of anger. And I think a lot of those things could have been answered had he had the kind of attorney that was really for him. The caller previous said that she would have just let that attorney go in the morning. And certainly you can do that when you have your own attorney. However, the judge has to approve it. Right. And in this case, I don't think Judge Roach would have approved it. Right. I believe that the fix was in from the beginning. This is a small community of people. They all know each other. And this attorney, Mike Howard, he wasn't a good attorney. He damn sure wasn't a great attorney. He was a former public defender, and his economics is tied in with all of these people, with the courts, with the judge, with the paralegals, with the clerks, with the court officers. He's not going to go against his community. You know, they got that.
Can I jump in?
Thing. Sure you can.
I saw a picture online. I'm not sure of the validity of the picture, but it was with the judge and some other people that were a part of the trial. I don't know when that picture was taken or if it's real. Let me look in the live chat. You guys know what I'm talking about? I didn't want to just throw that out there and you know, say something that's not accurate, but there's a picture going around with the judge, I think the prosecution and some other people, and it appears that they all have a maybe it's just a working relationship. I don't know, but I wanted to say that. But go ahead.
What I'd like to say to that, it's very likely that it was a real photograph. We know how things are altered these days. However, he was a former public defender out of that same county.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say if I had to lean, was it authentic? I would say, yeah. These relationships happen in all the courtrooms, in all the counties, in all the jurisdictions. This isn't unusual. What's unusual here is that the family was blessed with a tremendous amount of money to get the kind of lawyer that was a great lawyer to defend their son in a situation that they were unwilling, in my opinion, to see that they were by themselves. That community wasn't standing with them. No. And so they should have taken that money and got the best criminal defense attorney they could. And they went and got a former public defender that's all about, these are my friends, this is where I earn my money, and I have no defense for your son.
Yeah. I appreciate the call, darling. Thank you so much for chiming in.
You're welcome.
Bye now.
Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. Desmond Fox, hey, man, I apologize. I saw you in the queue. I couldn't pick up fast enough. Desmond Fox, do you want to call in? Email me when you're on the line. Text me. Crown, are you calling back in Sunday? Where is Sunday? Sundays. Let me get back on the line here. Sunday, is that you? Area code 718 again?
Hey, Star. Yes. I'm calling because I wanted to respond to somebody who was addressing me, but he got off the line. I just want to say, you know, this whole white supremacist stuff that's being associated with me is completely false. I'm not a white supremacist. I just think with logic and reason, and I don't operate with hatred. And I think the hatred is the reason why we have things like this, where the children are being birthed with the grudge of the past, and their life is being taken away by the court system. I think that's just logic and reason. I'm not a white supremacist. I don't blindly just agree to white people and what they decide. I just think an innocent child's life was lost. It's insane to me that black people, specifically FBAs, are too ignorant to see that the truth of the matter is he should have the death penalty or a life sentence at minimum.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
At minimum. He got off too light, too easy.
With what we now... I'm sorry, if I can just throw this at you. And Crown, are you calling in? Not that you have to, but I appreciate your donations. I'm not sure if Crown's calling back in. Crown, email me if you're on the line, because I'm getting backed up with calls here. With what we know now, or we have known Sunday, with regards to the prison industrial complex, whether you agree or not, the Julio Fulio case. For me, at my age, 62, to see a former warden so openly say we can use him, they're talking about one of the convicted killers, for that sweat equity. I'm still tripping on that. We can use him for that sweat equity. So do you think that, you know, FBAs, as you keep saying, and other black people, you know, having the proof that they are looking for sweat equity, you know, maybe maybe there was a rush to get him into that system. Karmelo Anthony, yes, no, or am I reaching?
Well, I did the math. So if he's, well, you're saying that somebody said he was 20. I thought he was 17. So if he's 20 right now and they gave him 35 years, he'll be 55 when he gets out, if he does the full term. And for me, you're still strong at 55. So if they want sweat equity, they should work until he's 80 and then let him out. That's what they should do.
Sunday standing on
Sweat
business.
equity is something that it is what it is. Why would you?
Sunday standing on business. Hey, can you hold on? Stay with me for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Sunday's going to be my co-host. I got to get the homie Desmond Fox online. Desmond, hey, I appreciate your support, man. I couldn't pick up earlier. Desmond Fox, you're smoking on an Austin Metcalf pack, yes?
It's strong too, like so potent. Like I don't know the exact THC level, but it's hitting hard. Like, and I'm gonna be smoking on it forever. Like, as long as Karmelo is good, like he could do 35, 50 years. As long as that man is alive, it's all good. See, the thing is, everyone expects us to be weak, docile, because that's what our elders teach us. They teach us to be weaklings, spineless. They don't teach us our accurate history. They send us to our enemy school to be brainwashed and to learn nothing but propaganda, to think we're from Africa. We think we're from some foreign land. A bunch of stories that make absolutely no sense, rather physically or just, it just makes, but anyway.
Come on.
I've been in fights with plenty of white boys, so I already know how they get down. That's why I stay away from white people every chance I get, because they have this superiority complex where they can tell you what to do. They're your authority. It doesn't even matter if they're a bum. I've had a bum on the street try to tell me what to do, and I'm looking at him like, what? Like, but the fact that he's white, he feels like he has this innate authority over me or anyone that looks like me.
Okay.
And the thing is, we all feel this energy when we're around, that everyone dislikes us. It doesn't matter what we do or how we dress, the respectability, politics, all of that nonsensical stuff that we tell ourselves and we lie to ourselves about. It doesn't matter how you dress. Doesn't matter how you talk. Doesn't matter your education level. Doesn't matter any of your degrees. It doesn't matter if you're a trillionaire. You still a nigga. And that's how you will always be seen. That's why I don't believe in capitalism anymore, because it's all an illusion that we love to tell ourselves.
Okay.
It's all BS. It's all complete BS. And the thing is, it's only one way to deal with these people, and they'll even tell you it's only one way to deal with them. It's no
fight fire with fire.
Legislative work, is no judicial anything. It's never going to be in our favor. It never has been in our favor since they came here and invaded every country, from Spain to Portugal, to the Dutch to the English, even to you tether ass Africans that came over. And I know about you Moors, you traitor ass Moors that helped them take over everything.
Right. Let's go, Desmond.
You traitor ass Moors, and then we have this tether ass. And you know what, I'm not even going on this, but I'm just saying, you have a black son. He will deal with this. He will deal with this in one way or another. And he won't even be able to express these things to you, because mommy loves white boys. Mommy loves white women.
Are you talking to Sunday? Whoa. Are you talking to Sunday? I don't want to, mix up something.
Yes, I'm definitely talking. I'm definitely talking to. You have a black son, right?
Okay, guys, hold on 1 second, because we're getting backed up on calls. Crown, is that Crown? Air code 202? Crown. Okay, sit tight, Crown. Sit tight. Okay, Desmond and Sunday. Desmond, I got to wrap it up with you soon, but you took a shot at Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Let her respond, please.
I don't even know what the shot was. Yes, I have a black son. What was your point?
Do you not think he's going to deal with the same exact things that Karmelo is dealing with?
I'm not raising a nigger, so I'm not concerned.
It doesn't matter how he acts. It doesn't matter where he comes from. It doesn't matter how properly he talks.
No, you raise a nigger, he'll be treated like one, and he'll end up in prison or dead.
And fuck Tethers, and I hope.
Desmond, you got to watch the language. I got to get you out of here. Got to watch the language.
I said what I said.
Okay, Desmond, we good? Okay, he hung up. All right, he hung up.
I said what I said.
Well, he hung up. Crown, hey, I appreciate your support, man. But there's Sunday. I thought it was best maybe you just talk to her. It's Crown there.
Yeah, I'm always going to support the machine, but something as hectic as this, when you have suspected white supremacist. Not that you have to be a Neanderthal, but you can't have the mindset of a suspected white supremacist. So, talking as if this youth was in the wrong for defending himself in a state that allows you to do so, that's kind of ridiculous. It's not fair that nobody is speaking about the two bullies that were surrounding him and putting their hands on him. So let's speak to that. Let's speak to that. Let's stop talking about how bitch-defied this youth may have been. Let's dive more into the bullyism of the family, of the Metcalf family, of these children potentially putting their hands on their father. Let's dive into that narrative. Why are we talking about that? Sunday, I'll give you the floor.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not a white supremacist. I don't know where you get that from.
I said suspected, keyword.
Well, the first time you didn't say suspected, and I think it's safe to say that you assume that. You're saying that to be politically correct, but I'm not a white supremacist.
I suspect you are, but go ahead.
Okay, whatever. I don't know what the qualifications would be to that. Just because I think that he should get the death penalty, that doesn't mean that I'm a white supremacist. He's 20 years old. He's old enough to get the lethal injection. I think that's what is proper and appropriate in this case, instead of tax dollars being spent to feed him.
Shit.
Why should we spend for his life? Why should we spend money to put food in his belly when he took an innocent life? It's insane, and it's absolutely disgusting. I don't know what you look like, but if you're full African and you have, when I say African, I mean just like your race, like you're full black, then go back to Africa if you have so many problems with white people. How can you live in a country where it's predominantly Caucasian and hate them? Go back to where you come from. And you're trying to say that FBA, or a lot of you guys don't want to admit that you originate from Africa. That's where you're from. Go back. Go back and fix the continent if you're so angry and upset with how America operates. It's absolutely disgusting. You become the enemy when you think like that. Why would anybody try to take you into their home or, trust you into their communities if you're going to look at them as an adversary? That's the reason probably why those kids were scared of seeing Karmelo Anthony, because of how you think and how his father thinks. You raise children to hate white people, and that's why there's so much divided, hateful vitriol between the two. And me as a black woman, I don't know if you've seen me before, but I'm black. I'm not mixed. I'm just a black person, and it's insane to me that you think everybody should be indoctrinated with this hatred that you carry. Go back to where you come from. If you hate white people so much, get out of here, because you have become a terrorist in your rage.
You're foundational black, or what's your where you from? Where's your lineage? Because I don't know. I just want to be specific. I just want to be correct.
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a black person, not mixed. I'm black like you. Now, one of the things that I will say is my mother is biracial, but I'm black. I don't count that as anything. But at the same time, my thing is this. You have a very biased mentality that is generational rage passed down from slavery that has made you into a terrorist. FBA's a terrorist. That's how I feel. If you want to attack white people, justify killing them, you are the new terrorist group.
All right, Sunday, stop right there. Sunday, crowd, I think you need to respond right there. Sunday just said FBA are terrorists. You have the floor.
Hey, listen. This is a show tonight. We are defending ourselves, and we're being called terrorists for doing such. And this coon, this mammy, is on the phone. This mammy is on the phone claiming to be up the street, because I'm in D.C. right now, Northwest. So you up the street about an hour from me. You're defending a Neanderthal that put his hands, well, two of them, because both of them did it. And the black boy, he's 17, by the way, he's not 20. Defended himself in a state that allows him to defend himself. Why do you keep leaving that out? Why do you keep leaving that out?
Okay, there's only one Neanderthal in this equation, and he was sentenced to 35 years. I don't know what other Neanderthal you're referring to.
Why do you keep leaving that out? He defended himself in a state that allows him to do such. Why do you keep leaving that out?
He overreacted. That's why he didn't take the stand. And the consequences need to be more harsh and more severe. I have a child. I don't know if you have children, but if my son lost his life because he made a poor choice and starting a confrontation, that would really devastate me. I'm sure his family's devastated. And 35 years is just not enough. I think he should have 80 years. He should get the death sentence. He should be executed. I don't care what you say about your FBA bullshit. You think I'm a white supremacist? I'm absolutely not. I just think just on a parent, just as a parent, I don't think he deserved to lose his life, whether he was the aggressor or not. He didn't deserve to lose his life, and he should have ran if he felt like these two people were going to attack him. He should have ran to an adult. That's how children need to handle things. If you want to act like a grown man, you should be punished like one, and the sentence is not lengthy enough. I wouldn't be content if somebody took my child's life and only got 35 years. They need to execute him. That's what needs to happen.
Let me interject. I got you. I got you. I don't want you to get long-winded. We are okay. Got you. So your black child gets 35 years despite him defending himself, hypothetically speaking.
I would never allow my son to react.
Ma'am. It's not about you because the parents weren't there. So let's speak about your black child, hypothetically speaking. Does he get 35 years too for defending himself?
They raised him to behave like that, and I think probably.
Okay. So it's the parents again, mammy. Typical coon, fellas. Typical coon here.
Brown, if you have sons, I think you've raised them to be animalistic like yourself, and they could probably end up with Karmelo. They're probably next if they think.
Well, listen, really quickly. Well, listen, my animalistic lifestyle and lineage built this country. My animalistic and lifestyle built this country. So you're defending Neanderthals that fled and colonized this country. Excuse me?
Savage. You sound like a savage.
All right, guys, can we wrap this up? I'm getting backed up on calls. Hold on a second. Sunday, stay with me. If you can help co-host for a little while longer. Crown, you have the final words, sir. You wanted to address Sunday, and she's there. Crown.
Well, yeah, Sunday. Listen, I'm here in Northwest 7th Street. I'm sure you know where the convention center is. Everybody does.
You can kiss my ass.
I would love to do it in person. I would love to do it in person. I'm giving you the address.
No. Let's not, guys. Let's not do that, please. Let's not do that. Let's
got you.
Finish it up.
I understood. Carmelo Anthony defended himself in a state that allowed him to, in a country that was built by his lineage. It's just that simple. Thank you, Manny.
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Thank you.
Crown tapping in. Okay, hold on a second, everybody. Sunday, please. There is my number one political commentator. Gene Richmond, are you there, sir? Gene Richmond.
Oh, my God.
The cult of personality, the shaman of intellect. Yes, it is I, and I'm here.
Good to hear
on the Star Report.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just want to say hello to you, and I just want to say hello to my good friend Sunday. It's good to hear some quality. It's good to hear some quality commentary. What we saw today was just a fallout of the issue of blackness in America. That young man, Karmelo Anthony, got off with a slap on the wrist. And like Sunday said, he should be sitting there either doing life in prison or he should have got the death penalty. I said we should have hang him high noon like they did once upon a time in a public execution. Black people got a problem. And I've been saying this for quite some time now. It's a lack of impulse control. It's a lack of character. And it's a lack of ability to make rational decisions. This young man murdered another young man and was convicted of it today. They made the right call. Unfortunately, 35 years is just not long enough. But tonight, the right call was made. He is sentenced for murder and he's going to prison, right where he belongs.
Okay, but now, with all due respect, number 9, you're a parent, and young people make mistakes. I've made my fair share of them, and I've had a good support system, if you will. And do you think that this young man? Do you think that the sentence? Come on, as a parent, do you think that the sentence was harsh? And I'm not excusing what he did, but was the sentence harsh? And maybe he had the wrong legal team. I mean, the case moved fast. Wow, it was hearing and it's over. Any chance of that?
Well, his parents, of course, feel that the sentence is harsh. I'm a parent as well. Yeah. I would think any sentence that my child got, whether as guilty as they are, whether they were a serial killer or not, no one wants their own child to go to prison. Of course, any kind of sentence is harsh, and you're going to second guess his litigation. But that being said, look at his parents.
I mean, they raised nearly $1 million in GoFundMe. What did they do? They bought a home. They bought cars. They bought various amounts of largesse, and they splurged to spend off. That just shows you the character of black people, and that just shows you the character of his parents. There's a price to be paid because Austin Metcalf doesn't get a do-over. Karmelo Anthony one day will come home and will go back into society. So I don't think this punishment is just. And I don't think that we have come to any kind of real reality here. What we're seeing here is black people are still racist and white people are the boogeyman that they continue to hide behind. It's not a white person problem. If you look at America today, the Knicks lost a game from a losing streak, a winning streak. They lost the game. You see young blacks running in the streets, treacherous, attacking each other.
And Hispanics for the most part, to be fair.
And Hispanics too. I saw niggas. I saw niggas and Hispanics with dreadlocks and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I saw niggas too. That's what I saw. They're out of control. Black people got.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in? Guys, sit tight in the queue. I see we've got a bunch of calls here. To be fair, I remember when the family, Karmelo Anthony's family, purchased that new home, and they gave a statement or press conference, I forget. They bought that home to be safe, and they didn't have to use any of that GoFundMe money. Troll babies, can someone confirm that? I remember them addressing that. So it's not like they just got a bag and started splurging. The parents are hardworking people. So let's not act like they were just sitting in the projects and they got to come up off of the tragedy. Okay, just want to say that. Now, with regards to, hey, hold on. With regards to the incident itself, I mean, Texas, man, the state has a history of being unfair, unjust, and just downright racist. So you're saying that none of that means nothing. Black people are the problem, and you're a black man. That's what you're saying?
Oh, that's wholeheartedly I'm saying. And it's a reality, as you see. I mean, look what we we see mobs of blacks attacking each other in public places.
That's the sound of the coon train, kids.
Rioting. We see black people killing each other at rates that we've never even seen before. Is it a falsehood that young black men kill each other at an astronomical rate in our modern day society? Is it a falsehood that if you look at interracial crimes, black men create over 60% of them, but they make up less than 6% of the American population? Did I just stumble on that and make that up? Like I said, black people have a problem, and it's not white people. It's a black problem. And they'll continue to address it and coddle these people. It's not going to get any better. Karmelo Anthony had an impulse control problem. And his mama bought some Chanel bags. Was that because she wanted to comfort her son too? Those Chanel bags that she bought and got her nails done? So you tell me the character of these people. You tell me the character of these people. This young man murdered somebody. And why are we forgetting that? Is this self-defense because you felt that you were being pushed around at a school game? It's okay to murder someone? I'm going to murder you because you shoved me. That doesn't make any sense. And no one else thinks like that but black people.
Okay. Can you hold on a second, Gene Richmond? Sunday, do you want to respond or do we let number 9 continue? Was my co-host Sunday.
Oh, I would love to respond. I couldn't have said it any better. I mean, number 9 is the truth. And anytime he calls in, it's a pleasure to listen to what he has to say. I just think it's unfortunate that there's not more black people that understand that this behavior can't continue. You're going to be punished by the fullest extent of the law. And I don't feel sorry for Karmelo Anthony. I feel sorry for the family of the victims. I mean, truly, they lost their child. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars investing into him so that he can be an accomplished man one day, and he'll never be able to do that. And it's just a shame. I'm going to end my call here, but I just want to say, if anything else, be said, I just think that people need to learn from this. You can't act out on rage. Okay. It's just unnecessary.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
No. Okay. So Sunday, you're good. You got it all out.
Yeah, I said what I had to say. If
Okay.
anybody has an issue with me, I don't care. Number 9, always a pleasure.
Okay. Thank you so
It's
much.
always a pleasure.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
Stay with me, Gene Richmond. Okay. Guys on the screen, Tower of Love Foundation in my community section is a banner that takes you to the Tower of Love platforms. Pardon me. They've got a lot going on with regards to schools in the East Oakland area and Oakland, California as a whole. So please go there and support my sponsor. Also, in my community section, I just posted something today. Let me make sure that I am saying it right. Number 9, sit tight. There is a petition at the top of the post section here on the Star Report, the YouTube channel. Just click where it says post. There is a petition. And I'm not going to say anybody's names, but in South Carolina, they are trying to give survivors a chance at filing civil suits. It's a petition. It's a change.org petition. I ask you to just go read it. The face of that petition is Jessica Reed. You've heard about Jessica Reed. I'm the first one to interview her, and I'm not even looking for the credit. Her family came to me with paperwork once upon a time. Jessica Reed was raped in 2001. A South Carolina medical examiner determined that she was raped, okay? And I'm just going to say this. I have no scores to settle, no axe to grind. The person who has been telling you that he was cleared by way of DNA or exonerated, as he put it, that's not true. The test was inconclusive. Keyword, please write this down because I see people keep trying to say, oh, he was exonerated. No, the test was inconclusive because Jessica Reed never took the test. She was 15. You should know the story by now. Her mother would not allow her to take the test. She has been trying to, well, she did file a lawsuit. She was dragged out. That's all I'm going to say. She had moved on with her life in a sense, but her name kept coming up. Someone kept mentioning her name. That's all I'm going to say. But if you care about victims, and I know many of you do, please go to my post community section. Click on that link. You'll see Jessica Reed's face there and just sign the petition. That's all I'll say. I'm not trying to amp up the set or anything like that, okay? Hold on a second here. Number 9, you have more commentary, sir? I don't want to rush you off the line. Anything else you want to say? I appreciate you calling in. Gene Richmond.
Well, I just think this just shows you the face of where America is. I mean, you look at what happened outside of the courtroom and in the American public. You see how divided this case has done to people. I mean, I haven't seen anything this polarizing since the O.J. Simpson case. I mean, you see black people on one side and you see white people on the other side. And it really shows you that, like you said, this is a racial construct. And this country on what it's built of, its values, its ethics, its morale, its character. It is purely race. But it also gives you an understanding that there's a group of people who said they've been here for 400 years. Historically, they have been here for 400 years, but they still haven't assimilated to the Western American values, to the true fabric of what they call Americana. So even still in these hundreds of years, these centuries of a lineage of being in this country, there is not that feel of a true American alliance. And I think the races will continue to be divided, primarily with white Americans and black Americans. There is still an underlying contention that this case itself can still divide people through racial lines.
Let me respond to that. I appreciate your perspective. You know that you and I are friends. You're not just a caller. To be objective, black people, aside from being consumers in this country, have no real power. Wouldn't you say? They have no real power.
Well, that's a fact.
That's a fact. They have no power. So, whether they are or they aren't, quote unquote, racist Neely Fuller, once upon a time, his dissertation, for those who know, he said black people have no power, so they can't be racist. I'm not necessarily saying they can't be racist. I think that we're all racist. We're not all prejudiced, but we're not all racist. So do you think that the hurt, the pain, the shame, if you will, with regards to black people, in some cases, the outward feelings are justified to feel the way they feel, whether it's a situation such as the Karmelo Anthony case or not? Do you think that they have the right to feel a certain way? They have no power. And now, again, sweat equity is now becoming a buzzword. Do you find anything within with what I've just said and what we have been discussing to be a reason for black people to feel the way they feel, objectively speaking?
Well, of course, we all have a right to feel the way we feel. That's a part of being humanistic. That's a part of our elements. That's a part of our qualities. We can feel and have our opinions. That's our right. I think it was Jared Taylor from American Renaissance who said that black people who have been here, who have a lineage here for 400 years, are more American than some white people who have been in this country. They're more American than some Europeans, because many of the Europeans that we know in our modern day, their family came here after World War II in America today. So there is, if you want to talk about the American experience, black people are more American than you can say, aside from the Europeans who established here in 1619 and Jamestown. They're more American than everybody else. But the reality is you can feel the way you want to feel. But if you do not reintegrate yourself within the fabric of this nation, a nation that you know that you have 400 years of a history, then it doesn't matter. You'll never have any power.
I would say 1,200. I'm just, more than 400.
Oh well, you like to stroke the flame. You like to add, or it's your world, it's your show. You like to put things in your own perspective. You are the puppet master, and I understand. But I'll say,
but now hold on a second. I am a proud objectivist and a capitalist, but at the same time, nobody ever speaks about. You and I have spoken about this before. The reality that America once upon a time would not allow Jews to come into America. You and I have discussed the Avion Conference, right, from 1938?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
hold on. For those who don't know, you might want to Google the Avion Conference. So you see, there's guilt. There's guilt with regards to why we give so much money to Israel, and then I'm not going to sit here and big up, Adolf Hitler, who died in the 60s. I'm not going to do that. But, there's things here that are covered up, not necessarily spoken about, and brushed to the side. But we're always going to see the propaganda of blacks, committing low-level crimes, stealing, robbing, home invasions, and murders. In reality, isn't that just silly shit in comparison to some of the things that the beautiful country of ours has done by way of breaking treaties, dropping bombs on Hiroshima? Isn't that just silliness compared to what really goes on here? You have the final word.
Well, again, that's the fabric of the history of what makes this country the way it is. Yeah. There's a lot of improprieties, and there's nothing perfect about this established nation. And you just talked about the Jews and the Avion Conference, but even Ben-Gurion knew at that time, the first prime minister of Israel, that the Jewish state was imminent. Even in the early 1930s, he knew what was coming, the fallout from the Balfour Accord. So even at that time, the Jews knew that they were going to get something one day that they could call their own. Now, what does this other class of people have? They say the country is theirs and they're American, but how do we integrate into the fabric of what you call Americana? You will never be able to truly integrate when there is this racial divide.
Okay. I appreciate your call, sir. Good to hear from you. I'm going to get back to the phone lines. Thank you, Gene Richmond.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. It's my friend. We have great conversations. Guys, I have the #1 litigator for you right there. That's Legally Shay. She may or may not be in the live chat. I've worked with her, and she can give you a consultation for a fee. She doesn't do free consultations. You know, she's a great lawyer. She's a trial lawyer. She's out there, in front of judges. She's based out of Massachusetts, but she can also practice in multiple states. If you need a lawyer, someone in your network, reach out to her. Tell her I sent you. That's her website, Legally Shay, okay? Hold on, guys. I haven't even played some of the videos that I want us to talk about this evening. Anonymous caller, is that who I think it is? Anonymous caller.
Hey, Star, good evening. How are you?
Detroit Ziggy, good to hear from you. Where you been?
I've just been hiding out. Great show tonight, Star.
Thank you, man. You have the floor.
So, thank you, Star. I mean, listen, if I was to repeat everything Gene said, I would be the biggest racist on here tonight.
Come on.
Right? So I salute Sunday. I salute Gene. And I salute the jury that convicted this criminal.
Woo.
Right? And because, listen, Star, unfortunately, Karmelo is a product of our environment and our culture today. You know, you play these Carnival cruise ship videos. You play the Wendy's drive-through commercial.
Love it.
And these jurors have seen these videos in the past, Star.
Good point.
And unfortunately, Karmelo paid that price. You know, and I think that's probably even a better reason for him being found guilty. You know, he is a product of our environment today. He is the poster child of what's going on in America and America's issues and problems today. And we keep bringing up white supremacists. What's the last time a white supremacist put one of your cousins or one of your homies on a T-shirt? It's never happened. It's always your own kind. And you get clowns like the gangster of EBT, who's all foundational Black American.
Hang on a second, Detroit Ziggy. If you're calling his name, you have to invite him to call in. I don't like people just taking shots at other, callers. Do you want to speak?
Well, nevertheless, I mean, I mean, there's never a rebuttal because it's always black on black crime.
Okay.
It's always a black man as the poster child for what's going on in America. But if you change the channel, you go over, and I don't want to be all over the place, but look at what they've been showing regarding the NBA finals. All the players are African American. All the commentators are African American. All the celebrities and the stars, they're all African American, Star.
Detroit Ziggy, that's not true. I hate to. There's so many European players now in the NBA. It's different. I think you're talking about 20 years ago, respectfully.
Well, I disagree with you. You know, I look back at, and I don't want to go all over the place. Okay, but let's be frank with the past Knicks teams. And name me one white boy that was on the 90s Knicks team.
Hold on.
You can't.
Hold on. Hold on, Detroit Ziggy.
Okay.
You had Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin. And what's the tall white guy's name? Porter Zingnapter. How do you say his name?
I'm talking about the Patrick Ewing era, the early 90s.
No,
right when they were hot.
Hold on, Detroit Ziggy. Later than that, guys, what was the tall white guy's name on the Knicks? Port Zingnaps. How do you say that, Detroit Ziggy? And here, I make my point. And here's Gangs of Love. You called his name. I'm going to Google Gangs of Love. Detroit Ziggy called your name. I want to be fair.
Yeah, so this Woff, he says, when's the last time you seen a white supremacist put one of our homies on the T-shirt? Well, guess what, white man? That always comes in here and says lies. They don't walk around in a uniform or they don't walk around in an outfit with a white hood. They're called police. They're called paramedics. They're called doctors. You stupid ass. Like,
yeah.
You're so old.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. Hold on, Detroit Ziggy. Let him speak. Let him speak.
It's well documented when Martin Luther King died, allegedly, he was still alive. When he got to the hospital, they helped kill him.
Yeah.
So the mind that you're thinking of stuff, like, that's the thing. You're not smart, Detroit Ziggy. So every time you call in here and try to argue with me, bro, listen, you can't, because you're not on my level. You're not even remotely smarter than a fifth grader. So
just called in.
Man, I don't
Tell that
speak
to
to Gene.
Gene,
He's
who
a
just
coon.
wanted your boy on the news who just called in. Won't you tell that to him, homeboy?
Hold your own. Hold your own. Why you calling on another man to help come save you? You speak for yourself. I don't need no man to speak for me. I can speak for my own. While you working 30 or 40 years.
Yeah, Kristaps Porzingis. Detroit Ziggy, that's who.
And answer the question why your own people just convicted your boy. Why your own people just called in here and want your boy on the news. That's a black man telling you that, G. Why don't you call in and give them a rebuttal? Gangster of EBT. How come you don't
listen
call
here,
in
Detroit
then?
Ziggy.
Guys, one at a time, please.
Let me ask you this.
One at a time.
Detroit Ziggy. I'll answer any question if you can answer this one question for me, and it's an easy one. If you answer this question,
okay, Detroit Ziggy is on hold. Gangs of Love, you have the floor. He's on hold. One at a time.
Detroit Ziggy, I'll let you ask any question you want if you can answer this one simple question. Either you can or can't answer it. If you can't answer it, then I'm not going to respond to you because, again, you're not a cerebral and you're not on my level, bro. You're poor white trash. I don't argue with white people because you're not on my level. So are you going to answer this question, yes or no? If not, then discussion is over with.
Just ask the question. He's on hold. Ask the question. He's on hold.
No, take him off, Star. Take him off. I want to ask him, is he going to answer this?
Well, no, I want you to ask the question. I can't do all that yelling. Come on. I can't do that.
No, I'm not yelling. I'm gonna ask him one question, and if he can say yes or no, then that's gonna end it.
Detroit Ziggy's back on the line.
So are you gonna answer Detroit? Are you gonna answer?
Thanks for love. You gotta ask the question, or I gotta get you out of here. Come on, ask the question,
clown,
or
man.
you gotta go.
Tell that to your own black people who want.
Ask the question, or I gotta get you out of here. Come on. Okay, he's not gonna ask the question. Okay. All right, guys, I gotta go. Detroit Ziggy, go ahead and finish up, man. I can't let you guys kill the vibe. Please finish up.
Well, again, Star. I mean, he calls in when white people call in, or when white people.
You called his name. You called his name.
I know, and I did, and he has no rebuttal for anything I give him.
All right.
He always goes to something else. That's the issue. See, people like him want reparations for something that happened to someone else.
All right, Detroit Ziggy, we're like going in a totally different direction.
For the actions of
Detroit Ziggy, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. We're going in a different direction. Please land your plane with regards to the main topic, Karmelo Anthony, sentenced 35 years. Please.
I agree with Gene Simmons. We need to hang this boy and make him an example like the gangster of EBT. Okay. Have a nice day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Guys, sit tight. Semi-analyze. I'm still live. Hi, Marty. I got your donation. Thank you so much. It's in the community section. I just, I don't want to keep rehashing something. You know who the Jessica Reed story involves. It's just, I don't have an axe to grind. The bigger story is the law that they're trying to change in South Carolina. That's the story. But I appreciate your donation. Okay, Savage. Sunday is the reason Haitians killed light skins. Thank you for your donation, sir. Ralph got your donation. Star. Sunday will get her nigga wake up call soon. Okay. Hey, Janet. Maybe they blew trial for an appeal win. Okay. They intentionally blew trial for an appeal. Okay, where's Frankie G? Frankie G, my main nigga on the trick. Hey, how close are you to Toronto, Frankie G?
Star, what up, man? I'm originally from Toronto, man, but I'm in Edmonton now for a couple of years, man. So that's a bit of a wait. You got to fly to get over there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
drive, but it's like 48 hours. You know?
I see Toronto in the phone. I was just asking because my favorite band of all time, I've seen them 26 times live. They're back on tour. Rush. You up to speed?
Rush. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm well aware.
I might go see them with the new drummer, Annika. She's doing a good job, and Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson, who came on the Star and Buck Wild show, for those who don't know, years ago. And I worked with them when I was at Atlantic Records. They seem very, very happy right now. So I just want to say all that. Anyway, Karmelo Anthony sentenced to 35 years. Frankie G, what say you?
Star, man, I got to keep it real, man. Maybe the family, instead of spending money on fly-ass purses, houses, and new wigs, maybe they should have invested some of that money in a Jew lawyer, if you feel what I'm saying.
They already had that money, Frankie G, but go ahead. I hear where you're trying to go. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. Look, since this broke and since you started covering it, I had to do my deep dive. And from what I understood at first was that I thought these crackers are trying to jump him, so I had no problem with him defending himself. Okay. But now it seems like the jury and the facts are saying something completely different. That he was basically saying that he basically walked into their tent and provoked them and said, "If anyone touches me, I'm gonna whip this knife out and stab one of you guys, or see what happens," or whatever. So, it's sad for me to see this happen. A young man lost his life. A young man's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail, or the vast majority of it in jail. But at the same time, man, you get what you ask for, and it does seem very suspicious that it was a one stab to the chest and it was directly in the heart and it was a kill shot. I mean, it seems personal. I don't know if we're getting the whole story there. I know I put it on the table the other day that maybe there was a female involved or something. There's been no evidence of that, but it seems a bit more personal than somebody trying to defend themselves. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
It doesn't sit right. Yeah.
I disagree. Now, you're a white guy from Canada, respectfully. How's your reading? Because a lot of people just watch videos, but they don't necessarily read what's on the screen. You stabbed him.
Very good, Star.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. I'm an avid reader, Star. Okay. Avid reader.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there has been information, and I disagree with what you said with regards to more personal stabbing.
Mm.
If it's a crime of passion, then which this was not, then there's intent behind acts of violence.
Right.
If it was personal, usually, I mean, I'm a failed cop, but I've studied, for the law enforcement tests and so on and so forth. Right. If it was personal, he would have stabbed him multiple times. You stab someone one time when you're trying to get away from them or get out of Dodge. You hit him one time, bow. I'm out of here. Now, I was asking the question. Hold on. I was just asking the question earlier. This is the objective perspective. Do you think that Karmelo Anthony may have had some bitch assness in him? I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that he hit him one time because he felt that his life was truly in danger. Now, I'm not saying he's not guilty. He killed someone. Got to do some jail time. But he hit him one time, not 2 or 3 times. So it was not personal. Go ahead.
Star, I agree with you. In other cases in the past where they're trying to say that it was a crime of passion or whatever, you're right. It is usually multiple stab wounds or whatever. But the reason I'm saying it seems personal is because it was one and it was directly in the heart or whatever, right? That's the situation there that seems kind of weird. Like, if you're defending yourself, it's more of like a slashing motion that you would maybe make, or I don't know. it seems a little off to me. But at the same time, like you said, man, you killed somebody, man. You got to go sit down for a while. Absolutely, has to sit down. Yeah, you got to sit down for a while, man. Yeah. But you never know if they can get a good Jew in there and milk the the public media, the sympathy and all that, and if people are kicking up dust in the streets, maybe they could beat it on appeal. You never know. You never know. Right.
Great to talk
also,
to you.
Starman,
anything else?
Yes, sir. Sorry, salute to those young Hispanic men and the young niggas in the streets, man, tearing up New York City after that loss.
Yeah, tearing up. Yeah,
man. As they should, sir.
Good to talk to you, Frankie G.
My nigga.
Hold on. Okay. Guys, hold on a second. I think that's the homie, Sam I Analyze. Sam, please hang on 1 second. I'll be right there. Sam I Analyze?
It's me, Star. How you doing?
Stay there. I got to play this video. Mo, I got your donation via Cash App. Thank you, Mo. Where is that video? Got Knick fans turning up in the streets. I love it. They're not gonna sweep the Spurs, but at the same time, I can't pretend I've been watching all season. I'm just very excited for the New York Knicks franchise. I want them to win. But let's see what the fans have been up to. Salute to the Hispanics all over the place like roaches doing what they do. Here we go. Bryant Park. I love it. Knicks and sticks, suck my dick. That was last night, in case you don't know, Bryant Park in New York City. The police in New York City no longer have qualified immunity, in case you don't know. They no longer have qualified immunity, so they're not as quick to put hands and feet on people as they used to decades ago. They can be sued, in case you're wondering why the police aren't, turning up. They don't have qualified immunity anymore. Oh, shit. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, guys, on the screen, that's my show producer, Deeds. That's her Cash App. If you have been blocked, please talk to Deeds. I don't deal with blocking people. Okay, just want to say that. Sam, I analyze. Are you there, sir? Good evening. Sports commentator.
Good
Sam.
evening, Star.
Hey.
How you doing, Star?
Good, man. Where do you want to start? New York Knicks, Spurs.
Oh, man. Yesterday was I called for a sweep, and now going into tomorrow, you've got Spurs fans getting beat up.
Yeah.
You've got, and the crowd that was there. I mean, the energy of the Garden and around the Garden was definitely different.
Yeah.
And I think the Knicks are going to definitely have to readjust, rebound, and get their act together if they're going to win the championship. But after last night, I was like, here we go again. Typical Knicks. You think they're going to do something, and then, I mean, if they don't win tomorrow, then it's going to be panic mode for Knicks fans, I think. For sure.
I didn't like how the refs were helping the Spurs, if you ask me. Victor should have been called for that flagrant. Did you see that he grabbed Jalen Brunson and threw him and hit him with the elbow? Did you see that? That's crazy.
I saw it and start. Full transparency, I was a huge Victor Wembanyama fan.
Okay.
Coming out of France,
okay.
I speak French, so I have an affinity to people like Frank Ntilikina, and I always, they remind me of me as my childhood, when I see these French guys coming over.
Okay.
But I'm completely disgusted with Victor. He actually, the NBA has gone out of their way to protect this kid. He's one flagrant foul from being suspended, kind of like the Draymond Green years ago against the Cavs, and then they came back from down 3-1 and ended up winning the series. So I think the NBA, they're enabling him, right? I think that should have been called. He should have been facing a suspension. And then also, I think it was Castle or Vassell who bum rushed Jalen Brunson on a baseline. I mean, they're playing dirty, but I see. I'm all for physical play.
Okay.
But don't be dirty.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
And that clearly was that was a dirtbag move on Victor. And the Knicks have to be careful because now, eyes are going to be on them. Are they going to try to retaliate? And if they retaliate, that's an instant. They're going to be looking for flagrants and ejections. So the Knicks.
Can I jump in for a second, Sam? Can I jump in?
Certainly.
Did you take notice to the goofy who was on his phone sitting courtside for damn near 80% of the game? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, Star. I don't.
DJ Khaled sitting there with Fat Joe. There's there's an online community right now going in on him. He's on his phone throughout the troll babies. Anybody see DJ Khaled? The hater misses nothing for almost the entire game on his phone.
I mean, is he a true Knicks fan though? He's a Heat fan.
He's a goofy. I don't know what his issue was, but though they are going in on him because of not just the price of those seats, but he was just texting and even Fat Joe looked at him like, yo. I mean, he didn't say nothing that I could see, but he seemed to be embarrassed. I had to say that. Go ahead.
No, I hear that, but I think if he's not a Knicks fan, so I get it. And it was a hot ticket item. I think the fans that were there weren't really. I don't want to say not true Knicks fans, but with the price tag and everything, are you really getting the true Knicks fan in that building? So, I mean, he was just in there because anybody who was anybody was in there last night. But hopefully now, next game tomorrow, you're going to have a sense of urgency and hope. And they got the parties on the outside again. Hopefully the energy changes and the Knicks are ready to go tomorrow. But I didn't see that. No. I did see he was there though.
Yeah. Well, it's very different inside the arena because the prices are astronomical for the tickets now. So to answer your question, in my opinion, you're not going to see the true fans inside the Garden. You're going to see the celebrities. You're going to see Ben Stiller. You're gonna see Spike Lee. Oh my God, I'm so sick of Spike Lee. And a host of others. But it's all about the Skrilla. So yeah, I just had to say that. But anything else coming on your platform? You want to promote your YouTube channel, new videos, new content? What's going on, Sam?
Yeah, I actually dropped a video for yesterday's game. If anybody wants to go to Sam I Analyze Sports on YouTube, you can watch it. I think, as I mentioned to you tonight and mentioning it now, I think this is a must-win for the Knicks. Yeah. You want to hear more, tune into my video, but this is a must-win for the Knicks. If the Knicks don't win, I think the Knicks are in big trouble. You don't go up 2-0 and have an opportunity to end a 53-year drought only to lose 2 games on your home court. So I think the Knicks are going to come out with desperation. I mean, but will it though? This is typical Knicks. I mean, if you really look at it, it wouldn't shock me. That's the histrionics show that this is typical Knicks, so it wouldn't shock me at all.
Salute to the homie Killer Cameron. He was on, I just saw a little piece of it. He said NY has always stood for next year. You know, I don't want to say he's hating on the Knicks, but he's riding with the Spurs. Killer, my nigga Killer.
No, I saw he was on First Take too. He's been trolling the Knicks, and there's a lot of Knicks fans, former Knicks.
No, he's really rooting for the Spurs. I forget.
No, he is. He is.
Yeah.
He definitely is.
Yeah.
But hopefully the Knicks can turn things around and close it out in 5, at worst 6. But if they don't win tomorrow, I think they're in big trouble.
Okay, great to talk to you, man. Salute.
Thanks. So have a good night.
Okay. Guys, Olivia, I'm going to bring you on. I see you in the queue. Sit tight because I got to take a quick bathroom break, but this person has been on hold. Area code 704. Are you still there? I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm still here. What's
Hey, my apologies. It's been a long, long night. I saw you in the queue. Who am I speaking to?
Maritza.
Say again.
Maritza.
Hey, Maritza, how are you doing? I apologize. Where do you want to start? You've been on hold for a while.
Well, we can start at how heartbroken and devastated I was, even though I know people out there in Texas, and they were saying, the area that the incident happened in, how racist that they was and stuff. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to have trust, even though it's an all-white jury, regardless if they Indian or they wasn't black, okay? And, they was not allowing a lot of stuff to come in. I was expecting to see a video, you know what I'm saying, of what actually happened. And then on top of that, they were saying that the mugshot that they showed, they had edited, on the initial mugshot, why didn't they produce that? I mean, honestly, the defense and the prosecutors, they probably was having drinks afterwards, because I really think that they was working together for real.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, because I even heard, I'm not sure where I heard it from, that at one point there was video footage, but I've seen no footage.
Exactly.
Have you?
Yes, I heard. That's what I heard. Right. I've heard that. So, why didn't they produce that?
Yeah.
So, and
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What was you about to say?
The defense only called 3 witnesses, and 2 of them they admitted on the stand that they didn't actually see what they initially said they saw in the police reports. So the case kind of crumbled. I hear what you're saying, but do you think that it was a poor defense? And I don't know if you don't have to be objective, or are you more so saying that they that the defense did a poor job?
They did a terrible job.
Okay.
Terrible. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? The kids, the 21 witnesses, or let's talk about the kids, they kept on getting caught up in their lies. They was lying. Mind you, these are Austin's friends. They were under the, you know what I'm saying? And then people are leaving out the fact that, okay, so just check it out. And the reason why I cried and the reason why it hurt me so bad, because that could have been my son, that could have been my nephew, that could have been anyone, you know what I'm saying? But now, mind you, you know what I'm saying?
it wasn't like he was a YN like some other people kids. No, he was a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He had a 3.9 grade point average. On top of it, he was on the track team, headed the football team. Like, he was doing his thing. He had scholarships. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So mind you, so all right. So so
you said Karmelo Anthony had scholarships. He had scholarships.
He sure did.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Okay. So he goes, and it wasn't they didn't have a tent there. Okay. So they showed when he walked past one that was kind of full. He went in there and he saw someone, even the defense, whenever he was giving his opening statement or whatever, he said he went in there because he saw someone that he thought was a friend.
Eddie.
And when he got up
Eddie.
on the stand.
Yeah. Eddie.
Yeah. Yeah, come on now. Like, and then on top, and then I heard, you know what I'm saying, that Eddie was the one that he pulled his phone out. And so, all right, so just check it out. So you're 17 years old, you're a 17-year-old young boy, you know what I'm saying? All right, and so you're sitting there beside somebody that you think your friend, but they're provoking, like, it seemed like they was just like trying to punk him, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you ain't got nothing in that bag, you know what I'm saying? This, and that. And then on top of that, you got two country white boys. And then I'm starting to see videos that circus that was going around before when Hunter was talking or whatever, and he was saying that he was looking, but then he didn't actually he turned his head and then he didn't actually see the stabbing. But at the same time, that don't make sense at all, because if my brother,
can I jump in?
Brother's getting a fight. Go ahead.
I appreciate everything you're saying. Seriously. And I'm listening to you. And let me ask you something with all due respect. Different cultures have different ways of communicating, expressing themselves, and some things are just inherently understood, And sometimes when you try to speak to someone from another culture, these signals can be read wrong. Does that make sense? You sound like a knowledgeable woman and you're a mother. Does that make sense? So
yes.
I'm saying that to say that, he was like a fish out of water, And I'm not saying he shouldn't have been there. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been there. But he was in a situation where I truly do believe that Austin Metcalf, because listen, I'm as old as dust. I've seen kids like Austin Metcalf, and they have this air of arrogance, and they'll so easily say, you don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't now, from a black male's perspective, that's a real insult. But from the Caucasians' direction, that's how they talk. What are you doing over here? You don't belong here. So I'm just saying to you, do you think that the miscommunication, the poor language barrier breakdown somewhere caused this fatal tragedy? That's all I'm trying to say.
Honestly, I feel as though that that the twins, they were bullies, you know what I'm saying? And they just messed around and found out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even if they were, hold on. Even if they were, and you've got how many sons? You got how many sons?
2.
Okay. Even if they were bullies, you teach your sons how to react and behave in certain situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not blaming Karmelo Anthony's mother for anything, but this is a teachable moment for all of us, and we can't save Karmelo Anthony. Maybe he doesn't need saving, but I think that parents need to look at this tragedy and talk to their kids. But hey, this is how you behave in certain situations. These are the signs you need to look for. I just want to say all of that, but go ahead and land your plane. I appreciate your patience. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna land my plane. So it's hopefully, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna support when it comes down to the whole thing, to him getting a lawyer. I'm gonna see this whole thing through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so sad. Because he had a promise in the future, and for people to say that he should get there wasn't enough and all this other kind of crazy stuff. Come on now, just think about if that was your kid. Right. You know what I'm saying? And how the whole situation went down.
Okay.
So that's all. And all right.
Great to talk to you.
All. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
All right.
I got one more person who was on hold, guys, because I do need to go use the restroom. Where is that person at? $415. Thank you for your patience. Are you still there? 415.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, good evening. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I just want to address a couple things real quickly, Star. The lady Sunday, I believe, came on and said something along the lines of...
Sir, she's not on the line. I mean, and I don't want to call her back to come back on. Can I just ask for you?
This is it's not an attack. It's not an attack on her. I'm just trying to give context because she said she's not raising her son to be a nigger.
I don't want you to talk about her son. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. We're not doing that.
No, I'm not talking.
Sir, we're not talking about her raising her son. Please address the 35-year sentence. Please. Come on.
All right. Henry Louis Gates Jr. was a Harvard professor who was profiled. When we talk about what happened with Karmelo Anthony, it's really important for many Black Americans, for many people to understand that the history of slavery, segregation, lynching, discrimination, and these racial inequities didn't end when the laws changed. You know, those experiences shaped families. It shaped our community.
I agree.
It shaped institutions across multiple generations. And trauma can be passed down. This is scientifically proven, epigenetics. Trauma can be passed down not only through stories and memories, but through stress, fear, and a mistrust for the people who learn from the world around them. Now, for a lot of Black Americans, that history, slavery, isn't a distant chapter in a textbook. It's something that still influences us, how we understand safety, conflict, authority, and our overall sense of belonging. Now, a young person can be a good student, have no criminal record, and still carry the emotional burdens or the heightened sensitivities that arise from experiences that they inherited or even if they witnessed. Now, at the same time, I want to say that, you know, understanding those influences is not the same as removing personal responsibility. You know, it's hard for white people to truly be able to fundamentally grasp and understand our historical experiences when we're talking about 250 years of chattel slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow, 50 years of mass incarceration, and so on. But, you know, a good analogy that some white people find helpful is if a family has lived for generations near a river that floods every single year, each generation learns to be on guard when it rains. Huh. The flood from decades ago that killed everybody, wiped out the whole village, isn't happening right now today, but its effects are still present in how people react to thunderstorms.
Can I jump in, sir, and champion what you're saying earlier?
Yes, sir.
John Blaze and myself, well, we've been discussing this for quite some time now. We've been talking about post-traumatic slave syndrome. Do you know the book? Do you know the theory of post?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're on the same page. You're you know, I hear you. But go ahead and land your plane. You've been on hold for a while. I appreciate your patience. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to land at, you know, when discussing a specific case like Karmelo Anthony, it's important to be careful not to claim that slavery, racism, or generational trauma caused his actions unless there's evidence to support that conclusion. But, you know, what can be said is that, you know, we can argue that the historical and contemporary, the modern racial trauma can influence how some individuals perceive threats and stress and conflict. Yeah. And whether that play a role in Anthony's actions is something that cannot be known without direct evidence. And lastly, Star, in regards to there being no Black jurors, Now, the short answer for why they didn't have any black jurors is because of how the jury selection process played out.
Right.
Not because necessarily that black jurors were legally barred from serving. Now, the reports from the trial showed that the jury pool started with hundreds of potential jurors, but during the selection, attorneys from both sides questioned and struck down prospective jurors, meaning they canceled them out. So by the end, none of the 12 juries or the 6 alternates were black. None of the 12 jurors or the 6 alternates were black. Now, the defense argued that the prosecutors improperly removed the remaining black prospective jurors and filed a Batson challenge. For your audience that doesn't know what a Batson challenge is, a Batson challenge is a legal objection claiming jurors are being excluded because of race. So the defense argued that prosecutors improperly removed potential black jurors, and they filed a Batson challenge. The prosecutors responded that the jurors were struck for race-neutral reasons, meaning that they didn't select those jurors not because they wasn't black, but it was for some race-neutral reason. Right. The judge accepted the prosecution's explanation and denied the challenge. Yeah. So that's why there were no black jurors.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I appreciate the call and thank you again for your patience. Thank you.
No doubt. Peace.
Yes, thank you. Hey, Olivia, thank you for your patience and your support. Where do you want to start, Olivia?
Hey, sir.
Hey.
So I was just calling. I really enjoyed the show tonight.
Thank you.
Even my son and his father was watching.
Okay.
He had stopped by and then they started watching. So I'm going to give it a perspective of my son. So he's 22 years old, and he believes that, he probably should have got life. Ooh. And I disagreed with him, and I said that I believe that it was fair. Now, then his father says that, he's going to be the man in prison. I said, why he's going to be the man in prison? Because he killed a white man.
Yeah.
So all I say is to say this. Black people and white people are racist as hell, okay? But I will say that black people, we need to start teaching our kids more about how to survive out of here. Maybe we do have a post-traumatic slave syndrome, Yeah, maybe we do. But we still have to, America is based on race. People need to understand that this is what goes on here. So it's no other way to look at it. People try to say, black people say this, but it's no way to look at it because a lot of white people, they keep the stuff going. Mm-hmm. And we have to prepare our kids for times like, unfortunate that, and I wanted to say last time I called in here and I did not, send my condolences out to the Metcalf family because they lost a son.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And I should have said that and I didn't. So my condolences to his family. But also, for me, I feel like it was fair. I do feel like it was fair. I feel like, Karmelo family need to probably talk to him more instead of trying to,
well, it's too late now.
I'm saying this to future people that's talking that don't have kids or people that do have kids. We need to start talking to our kids because these type of situations happen all the time. The first time I ever experienced racism, I was 9 years old. I had to go to my parents and ask them what did they mean, what did this little girl mean? So let me give you the story real quick. I'm in 3rd grade. The little white girl, she was my second friend and wanted to be on the phone with me. Okay, so I called her. She told me to call her. I called her, and the first thing she say is, my dad tell me I can't be on the phone with black people. I didn't know what she was talking about. So now I'm 40. That shows me that they teach them this type of stuff young, very, very young. About, have you ever been around white kids and they look at you like you an alien? Have you ever been around white kids? Because it's been places in Michigan that white people can live, just around white people. Unfortunately, we can't live like that. Black people can't live like that. Everywhere we go, there's a white person. There's somebody. So we need to be talking to our kids about how to deal with it. My son, a truck driver, you know what I told him, sir? I trained him, and his dad because, dealing with, my dad was a truck driver, so I kind of knew like a little bit of the business. But when you in that type of business, people talk junk a lot. They real racist. You dealing with people that come from backgrounds. They've been in prison. They got out of jail. Now they have a trucking job. So he came in as a 19-year-old. So I had to prepare him like, hey, you're going to have to be talking shit to these motherfuckers because...
Olivia, I need you to watch the language, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please. I'm so sorry.
Go
yes.
ahead.
So sorry, but I got comfortable. Sorry. But, yeah, so I told him, like, you're going to have to, start having to talk a certain type of way, because what white people do sometimes is get us with our emotions. And like that one lady said, we do have to...
Can I jump in, Olivia? Can I jump in? Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how old I am. I was born in 1964. Growing up in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, what some people would consider to be racism was normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my dirty Dago Italian cousins and my friends and associates, that sort of talking to each other was normal. I wasn't fazed by the N-word. I used to say things looking back now that were crazy, or they would be perceived now as crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, and I can't say we because I have kids. I've even been told that I have even been told that I have grandkids, but I don't claim anybody, right? You've got to talk to your kids and grandkids about how to communicate with others. I think I've been very fortunate growing up to be around Jews, Italians, Polacks, and all sorts of other cultures, because it prepared me for when I got to New York, to live in New York in 1981. I've been going to New York all throughout the 1970s, but when I finally moved to New York, I was ready. So I'm saying all that to say, knowing how to maneuver or get out of a situation, or knowing how to not fly off the handle with other cultures, that's important in life. Would you agree or no, as a parent?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I feel like you are right. And that's why we do need to open up our children's minds, just to let them know that this can happen. Yeah. It's nothing wrong with that. And we need to talk to our kids more. And that's all I'm saying, because they better believe other races are talking to theirs. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I feel like, we will talk nowadays. Like when I was growing up, our parents talked to us, our grandparents, my uncles, all type of people talk to us. Nowadays, you want to know what these parents talking to their kids about? How to scam. I know people starve that they scam with their children. Yeah. Like, really? You know what I mean? But then you don't.
I saw a video today. I don't mean to cut you short. The saddest goddamn thing. I saw some type of, I think she was Hispanic. The baby couldn't have been no more than goddamn, I don't know, 7 months. And she had the baby in front of her, and she was twerking. She was pee popping on camera, and people looking at her and say, God damn, no shame. But anyway, listen, I appreciate your support. Go ahead and land your plane.
Yeah.
Go ahead and land your plane.
And as far as the NBA, I think it's getting rigged like the WWE, and it's unfortunate. That's all.
Right. Thank you, Olivia.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Bye now. Communication. I don't want to go back. I don't want to keep talking about, when I was growing up, it's prehistoric times in reality, But there was a commitment from your parents, or if you were raised by your grandparents, there was a commitment from them to teach you how to behave in public. Can I get an amen from anybody who understands what I'm saying? You don't have to. That's why I'm so, I guess, amazed sometimes by some of the stuff that people do on social media. I'm like, God damn, have you no shame? Communication. Communication. My mother and father prepared me for life. And then when I got to New York, my Puerto Rican uncle by marriage, he solidified everything that my mother and father taught me just by saying something very simple. Troy, the life you save will be your own. You guys have heard me say that before. My Puerto Rican uncle from the Bronx, the life you save will be your own. You can't be coming up in here after 11 p.m. doing the most. I mean, he didn't say it like that, but it helped me. Guys, sit tight in the phone queue. JL, I got your donation via Cash App. Thank you, sir. Crown, I got you the donation. Thank you. Kill Mo Lemonade. Salute to you. Are you on the line? Kill Mo Lemonade. Hey, sit tight. I'll be right there, sir. Sit tight. Sit tight. Thank you again, Evelyn, for your support. I enjoy talking to Evelyn. Such great perspective that she has. You got what? I don't know who this is. Can you send video link? Send YouTube. News link. Sam, I analyze. Okay, I got your email. Thank you, sir. Okay. Alejandro, good to hear from you, sir. Oh, okay. He says, Star, I'm drinking and I can't call in because I'll talk crazy, but I appreciate the donation. Okay. Who was on hold here? Hey there. Thank you for your patience. Kill Mo Lemonade. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
How are you, man? Please watch the language. That's all I ask. Please watch the language.
Yes, sir. No problem. Yeah, so that post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Yes, sir.
And I want to talk. And I want to also touch on the Karmelo Anthony.
Okay.
So I believe that I'm a father. I'm also a grandfather, and I'm also a father of a deceased son. I'm out of DC, and he was murdered. Right.
Sorry to hear
of course, by our own people. Right.
Yeah.
That's like breathing air.
Okay.
It really sickens me how it's sensationalized when we killing each other all day long, every day, all day. We go platinum behind it. We make music, but we make celebration ritual music behind it. We glorify it. We magnify it. We love it. And then it's like, oh, this person did this, and it's like, oh, it's like all morals come intact.
Okay.
And it's like, it's so many things I can say, but I want to just say that if I'm as a father, when I look at the Karmelo Anthony situation, say he's innocent. If he's innocent, my thing is this: because I'm outspoken, I would override that lawyer, and I would have said, son and lawyer, this is my son's last opportunity because he's taking it to trial.
Okay.
This is his last opportunity to see society the way he does. He's going to be in a cell for the rest of his life in X, Y, and Z. Please, since you're innocent, okay, because you're claiming you're innocent, and we're going to stick with that. Since you're innocent, man, go give him what you got. Get on that stand and say what happened in your innocence.
Okay.
As a father, that's what I would say.
Okay.
I would not be chilling, laying back, falling back, kicking it, and talking this black talk, this black fist talk. That is your black fist power to the people talk right there as a father. Other than that, it ain't nothing else to say. You failed as a parent.
You failed. Your lawyers failed, and you failed your son. If he was truly, genuinely innocent, but I don't really think he is. But at the end of the day, I could be wrong, and they could be really bullies. So it don't really matter what I think because I really wasn't there. They could be bullies because white people do be throwing rocks and holding their hands a lot. You know what I'm saying? They be like, talking to you with their finger pointed out like they're going to do something. Yeah. And then at the same time, they'd be like, wait a minute, I'm going to call the cops. And I'm like, I thought you just wanted to fight me. So, I'm not siding with niggas and I ain't siding with whiteys. I'm not siding with nobody because, like you say, I ain't related to none of y'all niggas. But anyway.
If I can jump in and say, you're a father, so you would have more insight than me. However,
Yeah.
have you yourself ever done time in the penitentiary or a skid bit, or have you ever
not the pen?
Have you ever been on trial?
I was
sir. You've been on trial?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah, many times.
Okay.
I'm from DC. We the federal kings.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I ain't about to sit here and act like I'm some top grade A gangster. But yeah, I ran with killers and all that. Okay. I ran with drug dealers, killers. I was living the life. You feel me? And DC is one of them cities. You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know your history well, but I have to ask.
White people cross the street. White people cross the street in DC.
But let me ask you this, sir. If I can just ask you this.
Hand down.
Sir, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What's up? I'm listening.
You've been through trials, right? So
yeah, just as a teenager.
Okay. Sometimes taking that stand can be the worst thing because they can have a perception of you, and if you don't speak and the type of linguistics or structure that they expect you to speak, you can do more damage to yourself. Yes? No?
Hey, listen, he is facing the more damage of himself right now. Well, you don't got no other chance.
I don't have the notes in front of me. We had them the other night when we did the show here, but they had to.
There's no more chance.
Hold on. They had to prove, and I guess they did, or maybe they didn't. They had to prove what he was thinking. I forget the particular term. You may or may not know. They had the burden, the prosecution, to prove what he was thinking. And if you take that stand, sometimes you can give them what they're looking for. But again, you would know better than me. Your father. Good land your plane.
And either way, at the end of the day, the bottom line is that you didn't try. You're in jail. Okay. You're going to prison. You're doing your 35. So why not try? Okay. Hey, listen, it's a once in a lifetime offer. Okay. But I just want to say this real quick with the PTS. I believe that media and I believe that a lot of things are shoved in our face for us to even think about slavery because my great-great-grandfather was a slave, and after slavery was already abolished, my mother didn't know. I had to let her know that he was. My grandfather didn't tell their kid. He told me. And I told my mother, that's just her grandfather. She didn't even know because he didn't care. Man, he escaped 6 months of slavery, became a millionaire. You understand? Started stacking up his bread, got his weight up, became a millionaire. I think a lot of times, a lot of these black people, they wasn't even living around white people to even experience racism. My grandmother said she ain't experienced it. My grandfather said, I ain't experienced it. So everybody's story ain't the same. Everybody ain't experienced racism. Right. Everybody ain't even see white people. Everybody ain't see white people.
I got kinfolk who were slave traders.
Side of town. We was on the black side of town. What white people? Where? My grandmother was born from a black doctor. She said, I ain't.
So I got to take other calls. I appreciate you.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, sir. Anybody want to own up to having relatives, kinfolk, as we used to say, that were slave traders? Boy, don't let me figure out this whole thing about post-traumatic slave syndrome. I'll get to suing. I think the Nation of Islam, if I can figure out a way, I'd sue them. All that hatred that came out of that whole organization. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the messenger to the black man. No ifs, ands, or buts, but those niggas were something else. And for some reason, hang on a second, I always suspected niggas from Newark, New Jersey to be the ones who killed Malcolm X. I just always felt like that. I never had no fights and no shootouts and nothing like that with niggas from Newark, New Jersey. But the Nation of Islam, I always found them to be sketchy. Let me look in the live chat. Anybody from Jersey, huh? Niggas from Newark, some of the most cutthroat, dangerous niggas on the planet. Never mind Brooklyn and Bronx. Newark, New Jersey niggas. Anybody? Let's not talk about Minister Farrakhan. You've already heard the audio, boy. And if we did kill him, what the hell business of it is yours? That's what he said. Hang on a second. Who's trying to call in? Desmond Fox, salute. What's going on with you, man? I'm not sure what's going on, play. Everything all right? I appreciate you, man. Well, you can send in a PayPal donation. PayPal's on the screen if you can't use Cash App. Salute, man. Let me just... This man's trying to send, some Skrilla. Hold on, guys. That's the homie Desmond Fox. Please sit tight in the phone queue, folks. Okay, I'm going to have to find that information. Hey, Deez, you still up there around? Pardon me. Give me a second. Hey, Kat, late night. How are you? Kat.
Hey, sir. Hey.
Hey. What's going on, girl?
Oh, since you were talking about Malcolm X and
niggas from Newark, Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, in Godfather Harlem, they portrayed the killers to come from the mosque in Newark.
Yeah.
Niggas
from Newark and Irvington, some of the most cutthroat niggas to ever come out of the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah, I hate even driving through Newark and Irvington.
Dangerous. Come on.
I'll be scared every time I gotta drive through there. If I have to get off the highway or whatever.
Okay.
It's just like kind of crazy. But anyway, I just want to say, like, when I went to an all-girls Catholic high school in the Bronx.
Okay.
And we used to have like anyway, one of the junior girls, she used to bully us as freshmen, and one of my friends, her father sent her to school with a metal pipe, and she had it in her backpack, and then it fell out the backpack, so that's how she got caught. And they were like,
so what happened eventually?
Huh?
What happened eventually? I mean, what's the point?
No, she didn't attack anyone, but they caught her with the pipe, and they were like, why do you have the pipe?
Right.
And she said, I have the pipe because of this girl. So she ended up getting expelled. But I'm just saying, it could have turned into, something worse. Thank God, it fell out her bag. But unfortunately, she got expelled. But whatever. I'm just saying, like,
she had a pipe to fight a white girl?
No, we were black. All of us black.
Oh, okay.
Black on black.
Go ahead.
But the point is, I'm just saying that it can escalate. Like, things can escalate at any point. But what I'm saying, I don't think that Karmelo Anthony deserves 35 years. And I don't think he
I'm not too sure, Kat. I mean, if he snapped, if he just got pushed, right? And then he hit him, pow! And ran, I mean, you did cause someone to die. I mean, mistakes do happen, yes, but what is he supposed to get, a slap on the wrist? Somebody's life has been taken. We have to be objective, or at least try. How much time do you think he should have gotten?
I don't think he should have gotten any time.
You're smoking Sherm stick.
Wait.
Go ahead and land your plane. You're smoking Sherm stick. Go ahead. What you talking about?
No, I don't think he should have got any time. I think that it was self-defense. If he was being bullied,
Well, has that been proven that he was being bullied? Maybe the white boys just, ran down on him and the little frail nigga started shaking like a leaf.
Well, that was the initial story was that he was being bullied. Now, all of a sudden, it's another story. So I don't know what the story is. The initial story was that they came down on him and was like trying to like tell him to get to flexing on him, and he was like, "Yo, like, so what's up?" So I don't know what the story is. Do we know what the full story is?
Well, can you give me the source to the story that you say? Is it a valid source, or are you just talking about niggas on the internet, doing what niggas on the internet do? Where'd that story come from? I heard it.
So initially, when it first happened, and you even had it on your show, that was the story, that he was being bullied.
No, I was not pushing that narrative. People were calling in, and I was still saying, "What's the source?" We were trying to sift through it. But now he's got 35 years. Can we speak to 35 years? You're saying he should have got no time. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm going to let you get back to your blunt. So good to talk to you. Thank you, Kat.
Okay, good night.
Good night.